welcome to Longview Game Day. We're so proud to be bringing you yet another Longview Lobo football game. Chuck, Zach, and Tony Kirk, we are on the road this evening as the Lobos travel not far down the road to Tyler, Texas, where we are about to see the 60-second matchup all-time between the Lobos and the Tyler Legacy Red Raiders. We're coming to you live from Earl Campbell Field at Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, and we are stoked for tonight's game.
And we don't want you people at home having a drink every time I say Tyler Lake. It's Tyler Legacy, and we may fumble it every once in a while, but we'll get used to it.
Yeah, indeed we are. The Lobos are leading this series, 45 games that they have won, 14 games that the Red Raiders have won, and there's 2 ties between the two. But that doesn't tell you the whole story of this. The Lobos have won this series dramatically over the last 20 years. In fact, it's 16 consecutive wins for Longview in this series, and the last time that the then Tyler Lee football team won was back in 2003 with an 18-14 win over the Lobos.
Yeah, it's always been in a one-sided series. Having grown up in East Texas, Longview always one of the dominant teams in East Texas. Tyler Lee back in the day was not that great. Now that they're Legacy, they want to change that. They've brought in a coach who's got a winning pedigree, has won a state championship, and has success everywhere he's ever been. And I know they expect Joe Willis to be successful here at Tyler Legacy.
Well, he's got 2 years under his belt already. They're 10-6 in his 2 seasons, 107 wins total in the 12 years he's been a head coach. And he's been around. He's been at Iran, he's been at Cedar Park, he's been at Colleyville Heritage, and now he's here at Tyler Legacy, and he wins wherever he goes.
Well, he won a state championship in 2012 at Cedar Park. A couple years later was state runners-up. Had 5 winning seasons at Colleyville Heritage. It doesn't have a great tradition, but when this now Legacy job opened up, I think he found it intriguing to see if he could come down here, kind of have the success Mike Owens had down here when they won that state championship back in '04.
We were joking driving down. A win tonight for Legacy basically gives them the East Texas crown, you said.
Yes, they've already got a victory over Lufkin. They've got a victory over Tyler High, the former John Tyler. And so if you were to beat Lufkin, Tyler High, and the Longview Lobos on consecutive weeks, I think you could claim to be the best team in East Texas.
And we joked about the prize. That's next week's matchup with Allen.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's something you want to look forward to, but that's how good this program is. Even though it's been a little down, Allen wouldn't travel out here to East Texas next weekend if they didn't think this was going to be a good matchup for them.
And if you paid attention to the names, we said Lufkin, we said Tyler, we're saying Longview, we're saying Allen. 4 non-district games. Joe Willis's deal is this: I only schedule non-district games against former state champions. That's his deal. That's all we'll play to get ready for our district, is to play teams that have had success at the state level. That's why the 4 are the matchup this year for them.
Hey, that's something you can sell to your kids back in the summer. We got state champions waiting on us.
Well, and what's waiting on them tonight is the Longview Lobos. Longview coming in with a 1-1 record overall. They lost the opening game of the season at Frisco against Denton Ryan, the 40-7 game. Last week, back at home for the first time in 2021, pitched a shutout, beat Marshall 14-0, but it wasn't a game that I think satiated the Longview fans thinking, okay, we're on the right track now. There's still a lot of questions. They were expecting a blowout win, which they had done over Marshall for the last 5 years in a row. Instead, they got a squeaker, and now you start to wonder, are the Lobos closer to being district competition ready? Because that's the goal in these non-district games.
Well, you could say it another way. A lot of questions, a lot of work to be done. You've already talked to me this evening about some changes they made on the offensive line. Everything with John King offensively starts with that offensive line. I got to think he wasn't that happy last week. At times they struggled with their timing, their snaps, threw them off on some occasions, and they just didn't dominate in the trenches like John King teams would be expected to do typically.
Yeah, he comes in with a record of 190 wins and 41 losses in 18 seasons, so we certainly know his pedigree as well. He's got a game here this week against Tyler Legacy. The Lobos go back home next week to close out the non-district part of the schedule, and it doesn't get any easier for them. They get the 3-time in a row defending state 7A Arkansas champions from Bryant, who have a bye week this week. So they've got a chance to watch get prepared, and they're bringing a 32-game winning streak back to Longview next Friday night for an unbelievable matchup.
Yeah, if you're watching up in Bryant tonight, we say hello to you, and I'm sure some folks up there are watching our telecast tonight or streaming tonight because they are interested in this opponent of Longview. We talked to John King this summer. He had an opponent back out that he had lined up for a home-and-home. Didn't get to play him last year. They were not interested in coming to him this year, and so we had to go looking for a game. And Bryant, you know, if they're willing to travel to you on short notice, they've probably got a pretty good ball club.
And for them, and we don't want to do too much talk about next week, but for them, it's hard to find games that matter for them because they're so dominant where they are. They've won their 2 games, I think 100-20, maybe the score, 100-10 were the scores in the 2 games they've played already. They're looking for good competition to prep them for what they expect to be a 4th state championship in a row.
And certainly, this is a place you can find that in deep East Texas. And Longview may not have 3 state championships in a row, but they have a reputation for quality football year in, year out. And so for the folks in Bryant, it made sense for them to get in the bus and travel a ways.
All right, around the district, by the way, tonight, we kind of want to make sure every week we tell you a little bit about what's going on and who our district opponents are going to be playing. So tonight, Highland Park is at Capel. McKinney North will see the Marshall Mavericks. They're going to be at Marshall tonight, seeing the team we saw last week. Sherman's at Saginaw. Tyler takes on Nacogdoches on the road. West Mesquite is at home against Fort Worth Chisholm Trail. And Wiley East is at Royce City. So we'll keep an eye on those scores throughout the evening tonight and get you ready for hopefully getting you updated on all the scores as they go along throughout this evening.
Well, we got school song playing. Hear a little music in the background there. If you're a member of the Lobo faithful, you recognize the tune.
You would think.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I stood up. I got all excited. I'm not even a Longview grad.
You automatically jumped up. I was a little nervous there if we were on fire or something the way you hopped up.
No. If there'd been the Greenville High School fight song, I'd have kept standing, but we got a broadcast to do here this evening.
Last year, it was all about the defense for Longview. They won this game 37-14 over Legacy, and realistically, it was a dominant defensive performance because Legacy's going to come into the game tonight much like they did last season with the intent to run the football. They are stacked at running back. They were last year. They are this year, and stopping Jamarian Miller and stopping Bryson Dunnell are going to be the keys tonight to a Longview victory. They let those guys run wild. It's going to be a long night.
Well, last Saturday I was down in Austin for the Longhorn game, and I'm telling my son, well, next week we've got Tyler Legacy. Immediately as a 24-year-old, he pulls up a highlight of the Miller kid and says, here's who you got next week. He's a big Longhorn graduate and fan. Miller is committed to Texas, so no surprise. A lot of people around the state following him.
You bet. He is a 5'10", 195-pound senior committed to the Longhorns, I think back in the spring. He had a list of schools wanting his attention. He committed to Texas. His running mate, Bryson Dunnell, a 5'11", 180-pound senior, and we're going to be a little questionable about him. He sprained an ankle last week and didn't get the full game in against Tyler High. He's already committed to Texas Tech, and he had the same kind of lineup looking at him. Arkansas, Colorado, Purdue, Kansas were all talking about trying to get him to come. He decides he's going out to West Texas.
Well, it's special. Anytime you've got 2 Power 5 running backs in the same backfield, that is something to get everybody here in the Tyler Legacy crowd excited.
But we say we don't know about the condition of his ankle. Yeah. He was out there warming up in pregame, but you know how ankles go. He could be great. He's taped up. He could be balky and roll it the first time.
Have a great half and then
tighten up at halftime.
Yeah, have some problems as the evening wears on. Either way, I'm sure early on we'll find out if he's going to be a contributor tonight.
Well, last season, this Longview defense held Legacy to just 108 yards on the ground in 30 carries, and the last handful of those came as time was running out. So it was a dominant defensive performance last season. This season, of course, the defense is hard to measure. They played #1 ranked Denton Ryan. They gave up 40, but a lot of those were turnovers that the offense put them in a bad position. Last week, they were very good against the Marshall defense. As we said, pitched a shutout and did a really nice job holding a Marshall offense that's young. They've got young skill position players, but did a really nice job keeping them away from the end zone. And really, they were really not a threat to score at all last Friday.
I never felt that was was the case, and even though it was only 14-0, you never had the feeling the game was in doubt in the second half. And so if you're John King, you'll take a whole bunch of 14-0 wins, but obviously the fans would like to see more points.
Yeah, the fans would like a 40-0 win.
Yeah.
And John looks at him and goes, it's a win.
It's a win.
We got to win.
And it was played the way John wants to play football.
Yep.
Smash mouth, get your points, play good defense, don't make mistakes and help the other team.
And you can see Legacy coming out on the field right now with the flags leading them out. They're going to be a little tough call for us tonight for a couple of reasons. Number one, those red uniforms and black numbers are going to be tough from our vantage point. And number two, at least for the next 45 minutes, we're looking right into the sun. So we've got a double header of fun trying to deal with Legacy. Longview's perfect to see. That forest green on that white is beautiful. That black on that red is going to be a tough read for a little while.
Well, of course it's beautiful. If you're a Longview fan, you've always felt that way.
That's what I'm saying. All right, we're a couple of minutes away from kickoff. We've got about 4 minutes until we get ready to roll. We'll do a quick rundown here of the starting lineup, but first we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back here in 30 seconds. You are watching this. No, we're not. We're not ready yet. I'm jumping Frank. He's not ready to go, so we'll stay here and do starting lineups.
Don't jump Frank. He's had a rough afternoon. He's been out here in the hot sun. And don't be jumping Frank.
We're not going to jump Frank.
Later, maybe, but right now we just need to keep the thing rolling. You hear the music in the background. Both teams are on the field. They've had a little recognition of 9/11 already, and so we're moving towards the national anthem.
Yep. And in fact, that's what we're about to do. So we'll be quiet. They're about to play the national anthem, and we'll let you watch the pictures and hear the music of what's going on down on the field as we get ready to start this thing. But first, the national anthem here at Tyler.
Color Guard Commander and American Flag, Cadet Petty Officer, First Class, Yanin Marquez. Texas Flag, Cadet Petty Officer, Second Class, Dinah Albright. Right Rifle Guard, Cadet Petty Officer, Second Class, Morgan Ware. And at Left Rifle Guard, Cadet Petty Officer, Third Class, Emery Smith. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by the Tyler Legacy Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Your pregame announcements and festivities are brought to you by Juicy's Hamburgers, voted best burger in East Texas for the last 30 years. Now serving Tyler in 3 locations.
All righty, so why don't we fire off the starting lineups for you as the captains are going to get ready to come to the middle of the field. For the Lobos on offense, rolling from left to right on the offensive line. 6 foot, 225-pound junior Jax Norman's going to be lined up at left tackle. Mongo Williams, a 250-pound junior, is next to him. The center tonight is Tavion Morgan, the 5 foot, 250-pound sophomore. Ethan Pulte is the right guard, 225-pound junior, and Martin Guerrero, 240-pound junior, is the right tackle. Victor Bush is going to be the tight end, the 200-pound senior. In the backfield, we'll have Isaiah Harris at fullback, the 5 foot 11, 230-pound senior. Taylor Tatum behind him, the 6 foot, 180-pound sophomore. We'll talk a lot about Taylor tonight. Jordan Allen's the quarterback. He's 6 foot, 170-pound junior. Receivers are Jartavion Wright, the 6', 385-pound junior, and Jalen Hale, the 6', 270-pound junior. And looks like the coin toss is going to get Longview the ball first, so we're right in setting up the Lobo offense. Defense for the Red Raiders. Their defensive line is Travis Jackson, Luke Youngblood, and Latravion Whitmill. They are a sophomore, a junior, and a senior. Their linebackers, Jeremiah Sheffy, who's a 5', 662-pound senior at one side. Jordan Renaud, watch this guy. He is 6'5", 275. You'll see him as number 9 on the field. He is a load, and he's having a great season already, a 4-star recruit. Brooks Gallagher and Jet Stanger are the inside linebackers. Stanger leading the team with an average of about 8 tackles a game. Adriana Scott and Aaron Sears are the corners. Xander Johnson and Jordan Ford are the safeties, and they're actually rotating 4 different safeties tonight. Will be the Red Raiders.
Which will be interesting if you're the Longview Ball Club. If you talk about, who's back there at safety, does that give you a read that you might want to look downfield to Hell at some point, depending on who's in at safety or what the coverage style is?
Yeah, Hale has been quiet so far. Just not much offense. 7 catches and 197 yards of total offense or total receiving yards for him so far this year. A little bit surprising. He's been a little bit underutilized.
Yeah, but you kind of figure that's one of those things. As they get the running game rolling, play action will be there.
You expect, yes. Christian Baxter is the kicker for Legacy. He's got the ball lined up on about the 40-yard line. It's a short kick that's going to go about 10 yards, but it may have been touched before it went to 10. There's a referee coming in. Legacy's claiming they've got the ball, but it looked like it had gotten touched beforehand, but there's a little conference going on of striped shirts.
Yeah, the kicker kicked it to himself. That's something you see every so often. If you're wondering about Legacy and how they feel they fit in tonight, that's a lot of bravado, kicking off onside kick to the kicker himself. It was well executed. Looked like for a minute he lost control. I don't know if he ended up with it or another player did.
Well, what you get is Tyler getting that football to begin things. So it's going to be Legacy ball at the Longview 49-yard line. This is exactly not what you wanted if you were John King. You don't get the ball in that first possession. Legacy steals one from you, and away we go. So we'll have to flip sides and get the offense set up for Tyler here in just a second. First, a handoff inside. That's going to be short yardage for Miller, maybe to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, they go right up the middle in the first play, kind of probe and see what that defense has to offer. We got a Lobos lost his helmet. That looks like maybe 58 with the folded up jersey coming off there for Longview.
That'll be Jesse Fairchild, who's coming off after the 2-yard gain. All right, so we've got a second down and about 9, almost 8 for Tyler. Quarterback for them is Bruce Bruckner. On second down, he's going to have a handoff inside, and that's going to be big yardage up the middle, still carrying defenders all the way down to the 31-yard line. That'll be a first down for Legacy as they go right up the gut on Tyler.
Yeah, impressive run by Miller that time. Little zone read to start it right up the gut. And once he got his legs turning, he got a little help from his offensive line and just kept the thing moving.
All right, well, first down at the 31-yard line. Couple of runs and then 18 yards worth of offense already for Legacy. Defense for the Lobos. Billy Smith is at the left end. Jesse Fairchild, who we saw come out because of the helmet's the right end. Leonard Epps is in the middle. Linebackers, Jeremiah Ruffley, Devin Isaac, and we're going to have a little confusion in the backfield as the handoff is going to go to Miller, but not much. 3-4 yards, maybe at the most. Devin Isaac, Caden Brooks, and Tadarian Boone are the linebacking core. Willie Nelson, Jaden Simmons are the corners. Chase Smith and Kylon Sublet are the safeties for Longview. It'll be a second down and about 7 coming up.
Well, when you have 2 running backs come to the quarterback at the same time expecting the handoff, that goes from a zone read to a danger zone read. Fortunate there, they didn't fumble that thing.
So an onside kick, quick change of opportunities here early. And we've got a second down and 7. Drucker in some trouble, tosses that ball out wide and escorted out of bounds as Bryson Donnell for maybe a yard loss back to the 29-yard line, and it'll be third down.
We've seen Miller pound the middle there. We saw Donnell take it to the outside on the zone read.
So 3rd down and about 8. Longview needing to stiffen up here. What you expect probably is already 4-down territory.
Certainly makes sense. You're a little far out for a field goal this early.
Offensive line for Legacy. Jordan Crawford, right tackle. Rodney Harden, right guard. Kate Fry, the center. Jalen Wickwear, left guard. And Donovan Jordan, left tackle. Here's the toss. That one's tipped and knocked down, incomplete. And how about our guy? Buddha's in the game. We didn't expect to see him. We did not have him in the starting lineup, but already Buddha Garrett making his presence felt as he deflects that one, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
And we won't have to describe a lot of his big plays tonight. Mom's right in front of us, and she's going to give us a shout out every time he makes a big play, and certainly there she had a reason to celebrate.
All right, well, we got 4th down coming up. Just under 10 minutes left to play here in this first quarter, and on the 4th down and 8, we're going to have the Red Raiders going for it. Bruckner back to pass. Some pressure coming. Tossing that out, and it is going to be caught at the 1-yard line. Grab on the far side of the field.
That's Miller, I think.
And it's going to be 1st and goal for Tyler on a 29-yard gain to get, or 28-yard gain to get it down to the 1-yard line. On a 4th down and 8, they convert on the pass down to the 1.
I'll be honest, I didn't stay with the receiver. Billy Smith was putting great pressure on. Outstanding job by the quarterback just to get rid of it, much less deliver it to Miller.
All right, so 1st and goal for the Red Raiders at the 1-yard line. Miller in the backfield behind Bruckner. Bruckner takes a direct snap. He's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there to Darian Boone with the hit in the backfield. It'll make it 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, Miller never looked at his back that time. He took the snap and just took it right away. Bryson Donnell was behind him, but he never looked back at him and considered pitching him the ball.
So it'll bring up 2nd down. They lost a full yard on that play. 2nd down and goal. Donnell again is going to be the back deep in the backfield. They got a fullback in this time in front of Donnell.
Offset back there, 21.
Yeah, and now they've moved him out of the way. Here's the handoff to Donnell. Spins out of the first tackle. He will not get away from Buddha, who will pull him down at around the 6-yard line. And a couple of big impact plays already from Buddha Garrett.
Yeah, you asked Mom if he was ready. He's certainly ready. He's playing well tonight and doing a great job of getting this thing rolling early on.
3rd down and goal back at the 6-yard line. 8:30 to play here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game. First possession thanks to the onside kick recovery by Tyler Legacy.
Well, I'll tell you what, Longview would love to hold this thing to 3 points.
3rd and goal. 2 receivers split out wide right. Bruckner's going to hand off. No, he's going to keep it. Last late pitch to Donnell on the bad ankle. He's not getting anywhere. Another loss. And the combination of Garrett getting over there first and Willie Nelson makes it 4th down. They got to the 1 and got pushed back on every play. That play will end at about the 9-yard line, so it's 4th and goal from the 9.
And the kicker who started this thing with the onside kick to himself now returns to the field, number 25,
that's
Christian Baxter.
Yeah, Baxter's going to be ready now. He's got Xander Johnson as his holder. Ball's going to be down at the 16-yard line. Low snap. Kick is on the way, and he punches it up and good. But the Longview defense gets a win after the 4th down stop, or excuse me, the 1st down and goal situation that got pushed backward. So we'll take a 3-0 lead instead of a 7-0 lead, will the Red Raiders, and we're going to keep it right here and get you ready for, hopefully, a second kickoff. This one maybe the Lobos can get.
Yeah, I think the Lobos will be a little more awake. Gutsy move, Coach Willis. We talked about him in the pregame. Came out with the bold move of going for the onside kick. You don't see that a lot where the kicker is kicking the ball and intending to get it himself. Kind of slid under. We thought maybe he touched it actually before it crossed the 10-yard plane.
Sure did.
Officials didn't see it or didn't call it. And so the kicker recovers. Had a little mishap, fumbled, but I don't know if another Red Raider got on it, but either way, it works out for 3 early points. And, you know, I mentioned on the kickoff, if you onside kick, that shows a lot of respect for your opponent when you open the game with an onside kick.
It sure does. All right, well, It's a 3-0 ball game. 7:31 to play here in the first quarter. And Tyler Legacy going to try this again at kickoff. Caught the Lobos the first time. We'll see if they go legit this time. Baxter will tee it off at the 40-yard line. 2 Lobos back deep inside the 5. This one is going to be kicked deep and into the end zone. They're going to try to bring this one out. Holy cow, to the 15, the 20, the 25, and up to about the 25.5-yard line. That's to Kalen Taylor on the return. And the Lobos will get the ball for the first time in this game with 7:25 left to play in the first quarter, down 3-0.
Yeah, he showed a little hesitance. I think had he taken off initially, they had a lot of room for him to run. It ends up being a push as they end up on the 25. But anytime you see a return man hesitate that much, your first thought is, oh my gosh, this is going to turn out bad. If you're the coverage team, is, oh my gosh, we're going to get out of our lanes and this is going to be problematic.
All right, well, it's first down and 10 for Longview now at the 25-yard line. Back to pass, quarterback Allen. He's going to air this one up, and it's just wobbling out and falls incomplete at about the 49-yard line. You had said maybe they're going to try to go hail early and deep, and they tried, just not enough on Jordan Allen's pass, and it's second down and 10.
Well, we saw almost the identical play when they scrimmaged Texarkana. The very first play from scrimmage against Texarkana, drop back deep down the middle to Hale. Wasn't successful that night.
Yeah.
Wasn't successful tonight. I don't know how many more times we'll see that to open up a ball game.
All right, so it's second down and 10, and we're going to have our first flag of the game. Couple of flags come, one from the linesman here on the near sideline.
Yeah, I believe the left guard moved, and that's going to cost them 5.
Yeah, and that would be Mungo Williams, who got a little bit of a premature jump, and it becomes second down and 15.
Well, I say that. It may have been Connor Burns that time instead of Mongo. I don't want to blame Mongo. I think it's 73.
Anyway, it's second down and 15. So Jordan Allen, the 6', 170-pound junior, gets the play in. He's 9 of 16 on the year, 120 yards. He's thrown 1 interception. No touchdown passes yet. 12 for 40 on the ground with 2 touchdowns running. We'll flip a man in motion. That's Victor Bush. And this is going to be a quick pitch and not much going on. Tyler all over that again on that running out wide right. Just nothing going on that side of the field. And it's going to bring up third down and probably close to 14.
Little option football that time. Unfortunately, Hamilton wasn't able to seal the outside block from the receiver position. And now you're going to have a 3rd and 13. And that's probably not the down and distance Coach King and his offense are looking for.
So here we'll go on third down. Ball at the 22-yard line. 3 receivers going to split out to the near side. Right's the far outside guy. Back to pass is Allen, looking middle of the field. Got a little trouble. Now dropped the ball. He was gearing up to throw it, and he dropped it. It fell out of his hand, and that ball's going to be recovered at about the 17-yard line. It's the second turnover, really, of this game as Legacy recovers that fumble.
Yeah, that time Allen cocked the thing as he was beginning to move forward. I thought he was about to take off, and that may be why he kind of lost control of it as he cocked it and moved forward at the same time the ball just came out from behind.
So from the 17-yard line, Tyler's going to get a very short field again. First down and 10 for the Red Raiders. Bruce Bruckner at quarterback. Man in motion, and we're going to hand off to him with a little jet sweep, and there's nothing doing there. That is a quick nothing. Number 5 for Tyler on the carry. That is KJ Humber, Kelly Humber. And a gain of maybe 1, possibly 2, brings up second down and almost 8. 6:02 left to play in the first quarter. 3-0, Tyler Legacy with the lead. And this game has been played all on the Longview side of the field so far.
Yes, it's been a good start for Legacy. Once again, if Longview can hold them to 3 here, it's a big win for the defense.
Man in motion, that's Miller. Going to flip it to him. Avoids 1 defender, still on his feet across the 10-yard line, and he's going to be to about the 9. where he's going to be a little bit shy of the first down. It'll bring up third down.
Yeah, it's our man Buddha again with the ankle tackle, and they did a little toss underneath that time to Miller. That's 2 plays in a row. They came right the first time, left the second time, trying to get to the edge.
So ball's at the 9, third down. First down is at the 7-yard line. So third down and 2. Coming up on 5 to play here in the first quarter. 3-0, Tyler with the lead. Bruckner ready. Well, Lobo almost moved. I didn't see a flag. Handoff is going to be inside again. Miller breaking 1 tackle, and he's going to get his way to the end zone. That's actually Donnell on the carry, not Miller. And it's good for a 9-yard touchdown run, and it's a 9-0 Tyler lead.
Gave him a little option to go off tackle or take it further outside. Donnell made the read that outside was there. He gave a little stiff arm to the defender, moved it outside, and things could not have started much better for Legacy tonight.
Now they got a 9-0 lead. Baxter will come on for the point after try. Here's the hold. The kick is on the way. It is up and good. 10-0 lead for Tyler. 4:57 to play in the first quarter.
Well, if you're John King, you're a little shell-shocked.
All right, we're going to take a break. Back in 30 seconds here on Game Day.
At Godarzi and Young, we take things more seriously.
Every case that's handled at our office is handled by a team. That work and dedication has caused our office to recover more record verdicts and settlements than any other law firm in Northeast Texas.
It is our obligation to make sure our client has the financial backings and the manpower to be successful.
We are exactly who we say we are. We're trial lawyers who've gotten results year in, year out.
4:57 left to play in the first quarter, and so far it has been an all Tyler Legacy. Almost, 8 minutes worth of play.
Yeah, if you just joined us, Legacy opened the game with an onside kick, recovered it, went down, kicked a field goal. Lobos get the ball for the first time, have a turnover on third down. That results in a short field, and Legacy does a little fake like they're going to do the onside kick again. I wonder if that's left over from Jeff Traylor's brother being the previous head coach here.
Yeah.
Zach Traylor used to be the head coach before Willis here.
All right, so Baxter to kick off again. Here we go. This one is going to be into the end zone, and this time Taylor's going to let that one bounce around, and the Lobos will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. Well, they've had 3 offensive plays, an incompletion, a 1-yard gain, and a fumble by the quarterback on a ball that slipped out of his hand. Throw in a 5-yard motion penalty on top of it, and the Lobo offense, which we said at the beginning has some question marks they're trying to figure out, has more to add to the equation as we start this game.
Well, they tried to go deep to the big receiver Hale. That didn't work, and then they got themselves in a little bit of bind in the first possession.
There's Jordan Allen now. First down, we'll see if they go to the ground. They do. Nope, they're going to pass instead. This is caught by Wright across the 40 to the 48-yard line, and there's your big offensive play to start things for the Lobos.
Well, we watched warm-ups today, and I asked you about Wright if he was a junior or senior. He is a great-looking athlete. Everybody talks about Hale on the other side, but this junior, he's got the old knot in the calf. He's very athletic looking, and that time they went to the split back out of the gun and have a big play early.
Well, they'll take that one. 23-yard gain. Ball's at the 48-yard line. First down and 10 Lobos. Taylor Tatum, the lone back. He gets the handoff, goes right up the middle, crosses into Raider territory to the 48-yard line for a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6.
Good job that time by the Raiders linebackers. For a moment there, it looked like Taylor might have a little crease to get downfield, but it closed quickly around him. Still, that's the type of first down, if you're Coach King and his offense, you're looking for.
4:04 left to play in the quarter. 10-0, Tyler with the lead. Second down and 6. First time the ball's been on the Tyler side of the field. Allen back to pass, throwing a little high and behind Wright, who got a paw on it and almost got that thing up there for a tip drill. Come flying in there is one of the Lobos safeties. I think that's Jordan Ford, who almost had the interception.
Yeah, a little dangerous moment there for the Lobos. Once again, they open up a passing game here, and now they've got 3rd and 5 after having gained the 5 yards on first down.
Yep. Third down. 6 to go at the 48-yard line. They'll split a couple receivers left and looking this thing over. over to the sideline. Jordan Allen takes a look, comes back, and he'll flip his tail back from the left side to the right, from the right to the left side, excuse me. Back to pass, pressure coming. He's throwing deep, got Taylor Tatum, caught at the 25. He's into the end zone, and the Lobos are on the board with 3:42 left to play in the first quarter for their first score of the night.
Well, it all starts with Allen. He's back there, he's getting a little pressure, holds his water, as the coaches say, gets the ball downfield. Taylor had come out of the backfield, was wide open down the middle of the field, and he had right on the near side, so the safety had to take the running back, and Taylor just ran right by him.
Now they moved Taylor into that slot. It was a mismatch. Here's the point after. Michael Wright on for the point, or Michael Fields rather, point after try, up and good. And the Lobos are on the board and making this a game. How about a break? 30 seconds. It's 10-7 coming at you live from Rose.
And now at Orr, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at Orr Cadillac GMC in Longview.
All right, Lobo fans, you can breathe a little bit easier. The offense at times, 75-yard drive, 4 plays, 2 big ones, 23-yard pass to Jartavian Wright and a 48-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Allen to Taylor Tatum to get the Lobos back into this game.
Yeah, big play by Allen both times, and they come out and show a lot of spread in that particular drive. They went to the eye a couple of times, but they were predominantly a spread team and were looking downfield.
Yep, Michael Fields to tee things up. The junior will put the ball down at about the 40, or on the 40-yard line. A couple of deep men back for Legacy at around the 10-yard line. Fields' kick is going to be a Poochie short one. It will come down and be muffed at around the 35-yard line, and almost chance to get that thing back. Flying in there to attempt to recover that ball that time was Tadarian Boone.
Yeah, Caleb Turner eventually fell on it for the Red Raiders, but for a moment there, that thing was kind of rolling around the turf. He got on it and kept possession, Tyler Legacy.
All right, well, Legacy with the 10-7 lead will take over at the 33-yard line. 3:41 left to play in the first quarter. They lead this by a score of 10-7. Now the question is, can the Longview defense, who had a 4th down that they gave up a big play but then sealed things off. 1st down carry, not much. Donnell with the carry, and he is hit by
Shepard, 55 Shepard.
Serious Shepard in there on the hit. Again, they got a lot of mileage last week from the backups on the defensive line. I say backups, they're rotating guys in and out of there. Caleb Woolridge is in there at left defensive end right now. And you saw Shepard, who made that tackle, is in there in the middle of the defense. So short gain, maybe nothing. 2nd down and 10 for Legacy. And in motion is Miller. We'll hand it off to him, and actually it's a little forward flip. It's actually a pass play, and he is not going to get the 35-yard line. Longview all over him again that time. Willie Nelson, first man there, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, you talk about the way they exchange the ball. It's a little different. It's not really a shovel pass. It's just kind of he things that almost like a little mini alley-oop where the back comes in, and it's just about stomach high for him.
Yep.
And
but that's considered a pass.
No, I agree. It's statistically a pass, but at the same time, it's an odd thing to see.
3rd down and 8. 2:25 left to play first quarter. 10-7, Tyler with the lead. Bruckner back to pass. He's in some trouble. Got a flag down at the line of scrimmage. He'll throw this on the run into coverage, and it's tipped away. Boone got the hand on it first. Garrett was there as well. It would be 4th down, but we got a flag to deal with.
Yeah, I wonder if that was a late offsides call or if the receiver and the defensive back got into it over here on the near side. Looks like it's going to be a motion call, actually, and Sean King and his staff will be happy to decline that.
That's a pretty good defensive stand. And actually, we're looking at a 10-point first quarter, but you can go back and say, well, it was an onside kick in a short field, and they pushed back a 1st and goal. They gave a ball up at the 17-yard line. Well, they couldn't stop that drive. Here's the first actual length of the field drive, and the Lobo defense forces a 3 and out, and it's time for a punt.
So we're going to get a fake punt here?
No, don't say that. Willie Nelson back at the 40-yard line. He is not expecting much on this kick. He's only about 25 yards away from the line of scrimmage, so he's thinking either short punt or they're not even going to mess with it. Baxter's back to punt. The kick is high and short. Nelson's going to call for the fair catch, and he'll make it at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, it was a late fair catch. Nelson considered letting it go, but I think he could hear a coach's voice in his head saying, don't let that thing roll. Got up there at the last second, threw the hand up, and executed the fair catch.
Well, they had that played almost perfectly for how far downfield do you need to be.
Yeah, I agree, and it looks like they've got a couple of weeks of scouting on the legacy punter and knew exactly where to position the return man.
That was a 27-yard punt. So Longview will take over at the 38-yard line. First down and 10. Trailing 10-7, 2:07 left to play in this first quarter. Quick little I formation. Allen to hand off to Tatum right up the middle, bumped at the line of scrimmage. He'll go across the 40 to 42, 43-yard line for a gain of 5, and it's second down and 5.
We talk about it every week. Taylor Tatum starts so deep. He's about 8 yards, 9 yards deep in that backfield when he's in the I-back position. When he starts that run to the line of scrimmage, sometimes it's deceiving. It looks like his runs are actually longer than they are, but that's a good solid first down of about 5 yards.
All right, second and 5, 43-yard line. Tight formation, receivers close to the line, right and Hale. And the ball's on the ground. They lost it coming back. And Allen either just lost it coming and we got a flag down on top of it. How about that?
Yeah, I got a little motion as well. I don't know, 2 or 3 bad things happened on one play there. After having such a great positive 5-yard gain on first down now, they're probably going to walk it back on them. And looks like they're going to take the penalty.
Yeah, well, you can take
the penalty or the loss, either one.
Well, you can take third down and 5-ish or second down and 10. So they'll go back to second and 10 with the 5-yard penalty. And we go back to second down and 10, back to almost the original, exactly the original line of scrimmage, 38-yard line.
Interesting to see if they come back out in the gun here with second and 10. On the last drive, they had some success from the shotgun.
Jordan Allen bringing the play in. Hale and right to split out left. To Kalen Taylor is on the right. He'll come in motion, and we got timeout, looks like, before we ever get going.
Yeah, the Longview coaches saw something they didn't like, so they took a timeout.
We'll take one as well. 30-second break. We're coming right back.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Step into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com.
.110 left to play first quarter. It has been an eventful quarter. If you're just hopping on with us, Legacy decided an onside kick to open the game, and they recovered it. They converted on a fourth down in about, 6 or 7, and got a first and goal. The Longview defense pushed them back and forced a field goal that they made. 3 plays later, Longview fumbles a pass attempt. Tyler takes that in for a touchdown 3 plays later, and the Lobos have since scored themselves on a 48-yard pass to Taylor Tatum from Jordan Allen. So here we go on second down and 10. Allen back to pass, looking to his left. He's got Hale, caught at the 40, and he'll go across it to the 39-yard line. First down, Lobos at the 39 of Legacy.
Yeah, if you wonder why Hale is so highly rated, that plays a perfect example. He had double coverage on him. He got clear, just looked so relaxed making the catch and making sure the foot was down before he went out of bounds.
So Hale with his, first catch of the day. And it's first down Lobos at the 39 of Legacy. Hand off to Taylor, right up the middle. Tatum's going to be across the 35 to down near the 32-yard line. And that'll be a pickup of 6.
We talk about first down all the time, what it means to this offense. Well, you can pick up 6, almost 7 yards. Looks closer to 7 yards now. That makes it so much easier, particularly when you're in 4-down territory. Won't be surprised if they go back to the gun and look downfield.
Taylor Tatum with 7, so it's second down and 3 at the 32-yard line. Hale's going to split out right.
Go back under center this time.
Taylor with that deep set, fake the ball to him. Allen Rowland's got a man open. That's caught at the 30-yard line and driven out of bounds. That is Elijah Johnson, the backup fullback, who's getting a lot of quality minutes here. And he picks up a first down all the way to the 21-yard line, so an 11-yard gain on that play.
Go ahead. Took Elijah a moment to kind of break away from the linebacker, but once he did, he was wide open, and Allen waited on him to get clear.
Sophomore getting quality minutes here as fullback. He's back in there again. Handoff to Taylor Tatum right up the middle. He's across the 20 to 15, and he'll push the pile to the 14-yard line for a 7-yard gain on first down.
Well, you talked about Elijah Johnson on the previous play catching the ball. That time, great kick-out block to help spring that big first down game.
And that'll end the first quarter. 10-7 our score. We're back in 30 seconds here on Longview Game Day.
Howdy, East Texas. Neil McCoy here for Patterson Nissan in Longview, home of the free lifetime warranty. Shopping for a pre-owned vehicle has never been easier. Just head over to PattersonCars.com and you'll find over 1,400 quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, many certified pre-owned and backed by the Patterson Lifetime Warranty. And you can buy with confidence because each one has to pass a 167-point inspection before it's listed for sale. Log on and find your new-to-you pre-owned car, truck, or SUV at PattersonCars.com.
There's been a whale of a first quarter. We'll start the second with Longview having a second down and 3 at the 14-yard line. And
I think if you're Longview and their fans, you got to feel pretty good about everything that went wrong early to be in a position here to tie this thing up or even take the lead.
You know, our buddies in Texarkana called the Texas High Forney game last night. Horrible first half for the Tigers. They're tied 13. They win 34-13 when they got it together. Kind of the same first quarter for Longview. Looked bad for the first few minutes, have found their feet now, and they've got a second down and 3 at the 14-yard line as we flip sides of the field. Johnson's still in there at fullback. He is in front of Taylor Tatum, who will get the handoff. Oh, and he's got room to run and forget about it. Tatum all the way to the end zone, 14 yards away, and the Lobos take the lead.
Well, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but Johnson, the young fullback, went out and sealed the right end that time as the lead blocker. We saw him kick out block on the previous play. That time he got out, got on the edge, sealed the end along with the tackle, and made it an easy prance into the end zone for Tatum.
Michael Fields on for the point after. Isaiah Harris, the holder. Snaps on the money. Hold is down good. 14-10 Lobos. They have rallied into this game. They've cut up 14 unanswered points, and they lead this thing now by a 14-10 margin.
Big return score that time. We mentioned everything that could go wrong in the first 10 minutes of this game did for the Lobos. They shake it off, and they look up now here early in the second quarter, and they lead 14-10.
How about 7 plays? They go 62 yards. And they take the lead for the first time tonight. And again, if you're a Lobo fan who watched a couple of weeks of struggling offense, this is starting to look like you expected it to look.
Well, I tell you what, I think they are executing better. We talked about some key blocks on that last drive. We also haven't said anything about a bad snap tonight. They struggled a little last week with the snap. It threw them out of sync. They look much more in sync tonight.
Yeah, and the guy back there playing center today, Tavion Morgan, a sophomore, has gotten that job for this evening's game. And he's looked pretty solid for the first quarter.
It's so funny. We had a conversation with Coach King this summer. He just said we're going to be so young. We're talking about sophomore center, sophomore fullback. It's just a young team.
Sophomore tailback.
And the secondaries, 3 out of 4 of them are sophomores. So this is a bunch of baby Lobos, but they're executing well here early.
All right, Fields is going to tee this ball up at the 40. We got 2 men back deep for Tyler. They're standing on their 10. Here's Michael's kick. And again, he goes directional, a little bit short. This one's going to bounce it around the 15-yard line. Still live ball, picked up by Donnell. He's all the way back into his end zone, and he's going to be taken into the end zone where he's wiped out.
Yeah, that should be a no-doubt safety. He kicked that thing up. Yeah, that's a safety because he picked it up in the field of play, reversed his field over into the end zone, and it was easy pickings after that.
And it's Iselin Taylor, who makes the tackle in the end zone for the safety, and you got the 2 free points back to make it now a 16-10 lead for the Lobos.
Well, we talked about the good fortune for the Legacy Red Raiders. Some good fortune goes the Lobos' way. We begin the second half. They score early from the first play from scrimmage, and now they get a safety on the kickoff and are about to get kicked off to and should have great field position.
Now, we're talking about a senior who's going to Tech.
Yes.
Who picked up the ball in like the 8-9 yard line in the field of play.
No, it wasn't. It was more like the 3 yard line. That's what I saw. I don't think it was 8 or 9. Either way, supremely confident backs typically think they can reverse the field on people and do things like that. Coaches hate it. But whether it was a 3 or the 25, it was a bad idea.
Well, special teams now are +1 point for the folks over at Legacy. They got a field goal out of the onside kick. Lobos just got a safety out of that kickoff, and now they're going to have to kick off from the 20-yard line. Short field you would expect. We saw big leg from Baxter kicking off earlier. Back deep, Taylor and Nelson. Here's the kick, and he's going to go big leg. Taylor will grab it, 19-yard line. 35, 40, 45, 50, and across midfield. We'll put him on the 49 of Legacy, and the Lobos have another short field to work with.
Well, Taylor had a nice return. There's always different schools of thoughts when you kick after a safety. Some people prefer the punt. You can control a punt more. That was a long line drive kick. That nearly always, after a safety, results in a big return. It's kind of danged if you do and danged if you don't when you're kicking after a safety.
11:44 to play in the half. Lobos 16 unanswered points. They have a 16-year winning streak in this series, and they've got first down and 10 at the Tyler 49-yard line. Hand up, no, play action. Allen's in trouble, flag down. He'll smartly throw that away as he's being chased and harassed by Jordan Renaud, but there is a flag down back at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a hold there. A little bit of a jailbreak that time. The Raider defensive line came rolling in early, and that's probably going to result in a 1st and 20.
Yep.
On the offense, number 34.
And they will hit on that one. He said 34?
Yeah, that's Victor Bush.
Yeah, the tight end, Victor Bush on the hold. And so it becomes 1st and 20 back at the 41-yard line.
Well, that was just the case that time. Nobody on the Legacy defensive line bid on the play action. They came with their ears pinned back, and that's one of those you just grab and try to save your quarterback.
All right, we'll put Bush in motion, flip him from right to left. Back to pass, and rolling to his left is Allen. Sets his feet, throws back across the field to Bush. Caught at the 50, and he's close to a first down at the 41-yard line. 2nd down and 2 coming up as he gained 18.
Yeah, Bush makes amends on that play. He started out in motion to the far side, snuck back onto the near side here on the visitor side of Rose Stadium, was wide open as they had rolled left and threw back right, and had one man to beat, and he decided to try to run him over.
Yeah. Now they're going to mark him down at the 42, so they give him 17 on the play instead of 18. And it'll bring up 2nd down and 3. Well, I tell you what, those who are doubting Jordan Allen, he's had one bad pass and a bad fumble. He's looked good other than that. Taylor Tatum with the handoff. He's got a first down. 35, 30, breaks a tackle inside the 25 to the 24-yard line for another good run for Taylor Tatum as he grabs 18 more.
Well, nobody's doubting that young sophomore. We had the good fortune to speak to his dad before the game, Ivan, and he told us he's from Carthage. How you let this guy out of town? You're Carthage.
I don't question Scott Surratt very many times. This one you kind of wonder about.
Yeah.
Timeout on the field as Tyler's going to take a timeout. It comes with 10:50 to play here in the first half, and Longview leading this by a score of 16-10.
Good answer this time by the Lobos. This thing could have gotten ugly early.
Yeah. Again, they were down 10-0 in the first couple of minutes of play. An onside kick that was recovered led to a field goal by Legacy. A fumbled pass attempt by Allen led to a touchdown. But since then, it has been all Lobos. And they lead at 16-10 now. We'll come out of the timeout with Longview on a first down at about the 23-yard line. And right now they got the Raiders on their heels.
Yeah, and our job's gotten a little easier. That sun's going behind the trees over here on the open end of Rose Stadium. If you've watched much football in East Texas, you probably made a trip down here. You know it is a bowl, but it's got the open end, and a lot of sun coming through that open end early. Now we get to enjoy the rest of the evening.
And it'll start cooling down also as well. We're sitting outside. We are not in the press box this week. And so we're getting you all the elements. We're sharing with the fans tonight exactly what's going on. All right, first down, 23-yard line. And it's play action, another rollout. Allen going deep, looking end zone. He's got Hale over there, but it's knocked away last second as a cornerback for Legacy getting in the way and knocking that thing away.
Well, Hale almost had to become a DB on that. Ball was a little underthrown. Hale was smart enough to get in there and make sure that if he couldn't catch it, nobody else is going to catch it.
Now, if you paid attention to the number, you saw number 4 as the cornerback. That's Miller.
Yeah.
Jamarian Miller, their tailback, was playing corner on that play to get in there and break that ball up on the pass intended for Hale. So second down and 10, 23-yard line. Clock stopping, 10:43 to play here in the first half. Right split out to the right. Handoff to Taylor Tatum. And he's across the 20 to the 19, maybe the 18-yard line. Couple of yards, and it's going to bring up second down.
They give Tatum a lot of leeway in making the read on that. He can take that thing outside behind the fullback. That time the fullback, Isaiah Harris, was trying to clear the path to the outside. Tatum saw a hole on the inside, turned it up there, got another positive gain. Easily 2-down territory here if you don't want to put your kicker out there.
Yeah, third down and 6. Ball's on the 19. Play clock's down to 10, and they're taking a long time.
This will be a timeout here.
Yeah, Coach King's going to have to take a timeout. They had a little bit of confusion about getting the play in quickly enough, so we'll take a timeout as well. 10:02 left to play in the half. 16-10 Lobos, back in 30 seconds.
Printing your photos just got easier. Just pick your size, color, and favorite photo, and we'll do the rest. Because your unforgettable moments are meant to be framed.
All right, Chuck Zach and Tony Kirk coming at you live. Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. It's Earl Campbell Field. He made some news and noise on this field years and years ago. And right now, the Lobos making some noise on his field.
I saw Earl last weekend. They were naming another field after him down in Austin now. It is Campbell Williams Field. It is Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams, the playing surface. Joe Jamal's family said, hey, we want to honor the 2 Heisman Trophy winners. Dad gave a lot of money. We appreciate that, having named the field after Joe Jamal, but his family said, let's name it after Earl and Ricky. And big to-do down there last weekend as the Tyler Rose was in the middle of all that.
We're going to see Bryant, Arkansas coming here next Friday night to Longview. You're going to be up in Fayetteville tomorrow.
Yeah, a guy named James Street from Longview, when I was a little boy, made a little name for himself up there in Fayetteville.
All right, here we go. Third down and 6. Will again roll out. Allen's got a little bit of time, then he lost it. And he got sacked back at about the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. Getting in there is Jeremiah Sheffy, the linebacker, for the loss all the way back to the 28. It's a 9-yard loss, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
Well, that takes you out of field goal range, so it's going to make it 4th and 14. We talk about Taylor Tatum being a sophomore. That time, he needed to put a little more chip on that block before he went downfield. that play was designed to come back to him. He's got to do a little more of a chip on that rushing defender and not allow him to have that straight shot to the quarterback.
All right, so 4th down. Lobo's going to go for this on 4th and 9. Taylor comes out of the game. They'll add an extra receiver. Straight drop back for Allen. Looking middle of the field, in and out of the hands, intercepted. It was Bush's hands that had it initially, and now we're going the other way. Legacy down to the 40, the 45, the 50, and down to the 44-yard line.
That's number 9 there.
That is Renaud again, Jordan Renaud, who already had a sack in this game, and now he's got an interception in this game, and the 275-pounder just turned the game back around in favor of the Red Raiders.
Now, is that the kid you told me to watch tonight?
Yeah, I did.
Well, he certainly looked good on that. That's the Owoski tip ball in the air. He makes a play on it. Could have let it fall to the surface and gain possession, but instead, heads up, he picked it off and took it the other way, and we got some discussion by the officials. Let's see what we got.
Well, we're not getting a discussion on the microphone yet.
I don't know if we get a sideline warning here.
That may be it. I think that's what it was. Yep. Either way, it's going to be legacy ball. And the gamble on 4th down. Oh, boy, they hit him with a 15-yarder on top of things. And this is going to go all the way down to the 28-yard line. What a huge change of possession. This thing was back at the 19 before the 3rd down sack. So we went from our 28 to their 28. 1st down and 10, Tyler short field.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to have a commanding lead, and now they're trying to hold on to the lead.
And instead, the defense, again for the Lobos, going to ask to defend a short field. And on 1st down, nothing doing. That's Miller on the carry, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, good job that time by the inside part of the line, just bucking up, not letting them get anything going on 1st down. Tyler comes back to the line, still working out of the gun.
All right, 2nd down, they'll say a yard gain, so 2nd down and 9. And again, we're going to put a man in motion. That's Donnell. We'll flip it to him going right. And there's that Lobo defense again, just blowing that thing up. You saw number 2 get there first. That's Devin Isaac, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
That's the number 2 back. We've talked about this 2-headed backfield here of Miller and Donnell. Miller's had a couple of moments, nothing real special tonight. Donnell really hadn't got on track. 8
minutes and 12 seconds left to play in the half. 16-10 Lobos with the lead. Clock rolling. 3rd down and 8. You kind of figure 4 down again. Druckner back to pass. He's got pressure. It's Isaac gets their first ball loose. It's on the ground, and I think the Raiders probably recovered that. They did. Diving back in there, one of the very alert offensive linemen, Rodney Harden. The right guard got there to keep that thing from being a change of possession, but it's a loss well back to the 38-yard line, and it's going to bring a 4th down and a bunch.
Yeah, for a minute there, looked like Isaac, number 2, was going to get on that ball, just unable to do so, and that would have been a big change of momentum here. But now it's 4th and long, and it looks like they're going to stay with their quarterback.
Now it's a 12-yard loss. That's the sack for Devin Isaac, who last week had 8 tackles, a sack, 2 fumbles, tackles for loss rather, and an interception. So 4th down and 20, and we got a timeout. I think Longview's going to take one, maybe another one. No, delay a game penalty. So they'll take the 5-yard moving back, and now it's 4th and 25.
Surely now they're going to decide to go with their punting team.
Well, and having Bruckner out there, Bruckner's a punter too. He's got 2 punts for a 44-yard average this year, so even if you expect he's the quarterback, he may still be the punter. So the 5-yard penalty makes this 4th and 25. He's back at almost his 50-yard line. Lobos have nobody back deep. Now he's going to back a couple more steps, so he's set up for the short punt, and he does, and it's off the side of his foot, but we had a flag again.
Yeah, I think we may have had offsides there. Let's see.
That was going to be a 1-yard punt. He hit that off the side of his foot.
No, it's false start. It's on the offense. Somebody took off too early there.
And so before the kick is another penalty. It is now going to be 4th and 30. You kind of figure they'll go straight with their regular punter and just boot this away. That would be Baxter.
Yeah, if I'm Longview, I put a man back either way.
And they do now. They'll roll Willie Nelson back. Bruckner's standing on his 45 now. 4th and 30, again, short punt. He gets a better one this time, but he's kicking away from everybody, and he boots it well out of bounds. The official's going to come up the field.
Yeah, we'll see where the white hat chops him at. He's still moving. He finally chops him at about 27.
Yeah, 27-yard line's where that thing's going to be blown dead. So not much on the punt. And the Lobos survive the interception, the long return, and the defense again does an outstanding job.
If you're Longview, you don't want to have a similar mishap to what you had with the interception. That was going to be a turnover on downs, but I tell you what, the way they flip the field is going to make it more difficult here for Longview to increase this lead.
6:33 to play in the half. First down. Jordan Allen still in there, quarterback, handing off. Tatum runs into a wall, falls forward for a yard, 2nd down and 9.
Probably as good a job as they've done on that straight eye back up the middle play. They've been gashing them for about anywhere from 5 to 6, 7 yards every time on first down. Hold them to 2 yards that time.
Clock going to roll here, and I think John King will be happy to see a lot of time go between plays.
Well, I think he'd like to use up the rest of this half and get down here and get some additional points.
Remember, he's got to kick off to start the second half. Even though they got the ball to start the game, they never touched the ball to start the game. The onside kick recovered by Legacy to begin things. 16-10 the score. Little roll out to the right, setting up the short pass, and that one knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That blitzing end came in there and got a hand on that.
That's number 20, I think.
That is 20, and I don't even have him on my stuff here. That is Lebrendo Flowers, a senior. And it brings up 3rd down and 9.
If you're wondering why I'm doing double duty tonight as color and spotter, these we're all the way at the top here on the visitor side, and these Tyler Legacy jerseys are not easy for some of us not as young as we used to be to see.
All right, right split out to the right, Hale to the left. Straight drop, pressure coming. There he is again. Well, I tell you what, 20 makes 2 big plays in a row as Lebrendo Flowers with the sack, and they never saw him coming.
Similar to what we saw down on the other end when they tried to get Taylor Tatum out of the backfield. That time nobody was coming out of the backfield, and no tight end over there. They just came with an outside blitz and got him.
Yeah, that's a 10-yard loss. So here comes 4th down and 19. We're coming up on 5 minutes left to play in the half. Michael Fields on for the punt. He got it out of there. Pressure was coming. No fair catch called for. It's going to be caught by Donnell at the 45-yard line.
He dropped that ball, but I think he got back on it.
Yeah, he did. No return on the play, and so it'll be Legacy ball at the 44-yard line with exactly 5 minutes to play in the first half.
A little bit of a dangerous play that time by Donnell. He did not call the fair catch to begin with and then took it up high, and when he did take it, he got some contact, and the ball popped out, but he was fortunate enough to fall right on it.
A 37-yard punt by Fields. And here we'll go on first down. This Longview defense has been really good so far. Bruckner still at quarterback. Man in motion. We're not going to give it him, though. We're going to give it, well, yeah, we are. Late pitch instead. Bruckner kept it, did a really nice job of hiding where that ball was, and made a late flip out there to Humber.
That's another one. May end up being a pass. I think the back may have been in front of him, but either way, at the last second, he released the ball to the trailer and get about a 4-yard gain on first down.
Credit Jaden Simmons on the tackle that time for Longview, the sophomore corner. It's a gain of about 4, so 2nd down and 6. 4:25 to play in the half. Raiders will split 2 out left. Bruckner, boy, stumbles. He's in a little trouble. There's a hold going on. There's the flag. Pass is going to be caught. And let's see if we get the feet down in bounds. It's not going to matter. This is all coming back.
One would think so. Also had a lineman downfield because I think that was originally set up to be a screen play. And so one of the linemen had released downfield, but I think they're going to call a hold prior to that.
Yeah, Billy Smith was being grabbed and held onto for a long time. I think it may have been Wickware holding on to him, but there's a flag all the way back at the 40-yard line.
Well, it's certainly the call you want. That's a spot foul.
Yeah, there it is. So Smith, who was really harassing the quarterback, and it started with Bruckner kind of slipping as he tried to roll out, and that let the whole timing of the play go bad. Smith got in there in a hurry, and his lineman really had no chance but to hold on to save his quarterback and hope it didn't get called.
Well, that time they didn't call it a spot foul, or they thought the hold was closer to the line of scrimmage. I thought maybe he was in the backfield. They may have called the hold on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's a 10-yard penalty, so it's back to the 38-yard line. Second down, 16. Everybody split out left. And there's the man going in motion. Druckner back to pass. And again, we got another hold. This one, another obvious one. Pass on the way. That's knocked away by Buda Garrett, but it's not going to matter. We got a second hold. That time it was Devin Isaac getting mugged by Donovan Jordan. And it's going to be another chance to push him back 10 more yards.
Well, if we were only playing wrestling, he would get points for the takedown, but unfortunately it's football tonight, and you can't do that. He got beat on the play and really had no choice but to tackle the defensive end. That'll be declined.
Yeah, Lobos are pinning back their ears right now, going after quarterbacks. The Raiders have shown they cannot run the football, and so Longview is pretty obvious in the fact they're coming up the field after quarterbacks. Kieran Stanford coming out of the game for a minute as Caleb Woolridge comes back in. We'll come back and talk about Stanford in a minute.
Yeah, their inability to run the football has really negated the play of the play action.
4:08 to play in the half. And again, we got stuff stopping beforehand. And we may have gotten a timeout that time. Yeah. Legacy's going to take a timeout. We'll keep it here. 4:06 left to play. If you wonder about Bruckner and throwing the football, he had a good game against Lufkin, 12 of 1,664 yards. He had a not-so-good game against Tyler, even though he threw for 154 yards. One of those was a 90, I think, yard touchdown. So overall for the season, he's 16 of 29, 318 yards, and 3 touchdowns. When the running game works.
I was going to say, the key number there is when you're averaging 15 passes a game or less, that tells you your passing game is predicated on the success of your running game. Longview's ability to corral the running game has really negated this play action, which you figure against Lufkin, that must have been what was working on the 12 of 16 tonight. When you're successful running the ball, you look a lot better passing the football.
So we'll get third down now. They're actually going to decline that penalty and make it third down and 16. No, they did take it. They
declined the previous penalty.
So third down and 16. And back to pass again. They're setting up a screen, and we got another flag down. Pass was behind Miller, who dropped it. And we've got 3 guys coming in. Of course, it was set up to be a screen, so they were going to get in. But one of the guys, again, grabbed a Lobo coming through, and we'll have another 10-yard penalty.
Yeah, that time it was number 51, Donovan Jordan, who just, it could have been a horse collar call. He just reached back there and grabbed the defensive end from Longview and yanked him back, and
they're going to decline it.
Oh, well, sure. They don't.
Yeah.
They want the football.
Yeah.
Longview wants the ball.
Fourth down and 16, and it could have been second down and 36, but they declined the last 2 penalties. So here we'll go on a long flip of the field that the Lobos are hoping for.
Nelson back again for the punt.
And we're going to have whistles again.
Not sure what the call is there. We're down to 4 minutes. That whole sequence there only took 1 minute. They got the ball with 5 minutes to go, and now it's a minute.
Yep. And we'll knock another 5-yard penalty in there. And so how about 5 more backward? Fourth down, 21 now. Longview's return guy, we saw Willie Nelson earlier, was really up close. He's up at around the 37-yard line now. Punt on the way. This one's straight up in the air. It'll come down on the 50-yard line, take a Red Raider bounce across the 40 and down to the 35-yard line. So they actually got no return out of that, and that's probably the best that Tyler Legacy could have hoped for.
I agree. It was not a pretty punt, but somewhat effective, as after the exchange, the Lobos will start on the 36-yard line, and plenty of time left. There's a little less than 4 minutes, 3:48 to go. 16-10, they lead right now, looking to add to it here before the half.
All right. It has been a bizarre first half. It looked bad for about 4 or 5 minutes. It's looked better since. Lobo looking to put the neck on the throat. New quarterback in there is Josh Thomas. Handoff for nothing, yard maybe, and it'll be 2nd down and 9. Taylor Tatum just had nothing going that time.
We saw quite a bit of Thomas a week ago against Marshall. Both of us consider him to be maybe a little better passer than Jordan Allen, but here he gets some quality minutes with 3.5 to go here in the half.
5'10", 180-pound senior, 5 of 10 on the season, 45 yards. He's going back to pass this time. Here comes Renaud, pressure coming. Thomas going to run it across the 45. He'll step out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Giving chase was Jeremiah Sheffy, but it's enough for the 1st down.
Well, you've talked about Renaud, and he has lived up to the pregame hype you gave him. He's been a force throughout the night making plays. That time he forced him out of the pocket and into having to run, but he did a good job. He picked up positive yards and got out of bounds.
Yep, so we'll have 1st down at the 49-yard line. Clock stopped when he went out of bounds. 3:06 to play in the half. 3 receivers set for the Lobos this time. Thomas was set. Now he looks back to the sideline. Barks something back out to his teammates. Back to pass he goes. Quick toss out. That's caught by Wright, who's going to come up the field. 35-yard line. He'll step out of bounds at the 34-yard line. That's a gain of another 18 and a 1st down.
Gave Wright a lot of cushion over there on the far side. He took full advantage of it. Thomas delivered the ball quickly, gave him the opportunity to turn, assess how much sideline he had to work with, and he went down the field till they pushed him out.
Clock stops 3 minutes exactly. Boy, last 2 minutes have been a churn of events. The punt, the short field, the penalties, the punt back, and now the Lobos back on the march. 34-yard line, 1st down and 10. Handoff, jailbreak defense that time. How about Renaud? No, it's not Renaud in there on the hit. I think it may be Whitmill on the hit. So nothing going that time. Loss of 2 back to the 36-yard line. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and 12.
We talked about it some last week. Coach King likes his QBs to come over to the sideline and talk to him. Joshua Thomas comes over. There's about 20 seconds left. He goes back in, gets the play in, and they'll snap this thing with just a couple of seconds left.
All right, 2nd down and 12. Hale going to split out here near side, and we're going to have a timeout.
Yeah, got it 2 down too far.
Yeah. Part of that, I think, Jalen didn't realize he was coming right. He started left, and then they had to take some time. We'll take a break, 30-second timeout. You're watching us here on Longview Game Day.
Over the last 10 years, our office has achieved many record verdicts and settlements. Our commitment has always been to outwork and outfight any opponent we have in whatever courtroom we find ourselves in.
At Godarzi & Young, we have settlements and verdicts that are unmatched. Whether you come face to face with the corporation or the insurance company, they know that if they don't justly compensate our clients, they're going to have to face the Godarzi & Young trial team in the courtroom.
.220 left to play, 1st half. 16-10, Longview with the lead. They have scored 16 straight points and are threatening for more here on this waning moments of the 1st half.
Yeah, unfortunate they had to take the time out there. We talked about during the break. They had scored earlier on a pass play to Taylor Thomas. They had put him out in that slot again, and Tyler had slid an outside linebacker out there on him. It was going to be, I think, pretty easy pickings for Joshua Thomas, but unfortunately didn't have enough time left on the clock to execute the play.
Coming up at the half, we're going to let you hear from the bands that are going to be out on the field, and we'll talk about scores from around the area as we continue on. Thomas back to pass, got a man caught at the 31-yard line. That's Johnson, who's down the field to the 10 and fights his way down to about the 5-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and goal Lobos with 2:11 to play.
I'll tell you what, the young sophomore fullback continues to impress. That time he got out in the flat. We saw a similar play on the other side going back in the 1st quarter. That time he had a little more clean space between he and the defender. He got turned up and really got going.
Down to the 5, 1st down and goal. Clock restarts, 1:50 and counting. Hale's going to split out left. And we got a flag down. I think a lineman moved.
Unfortunately, that's going to take a first and go from the 5 and make it a first and go from the 10.
Yeah, they were pointing at Jax Norman like it may have been him. At least that's what the Legacy defense was convinced it was, and the officials were as well. And so we go back 5 yards. Checking into the game, by the way, Jarrett Lewis is in the backfield. You see him, number 24. As he's in there, it looks like maybe for Thomas, or for Tatum, rather. Excuse me. You got me doing it now.
Yeah. Joshua Thomas, quarterback right now. Looks like they're going to come back out with a fullback and a tailback here.
Yep. And it's the combination of Johnson and Jarrett, J&J, behind that quarterback, who's another J, Josh Thomas.
Tell you what, Josh would love to get a score on his opportunity to play here in the first half.
First and goal from the 10, back to pass. He's throwing one back corner of the end zone. That's Hale. That's a touchdown. 10 yards. Josh Thomas to Jalen Hale, and it's 22-10. Lobos with the lead.
Well, they had him out there all by himself, left the corner on the island. We talked about when Joshua came in, maybe a little better passer than the other quarterback, but that was a very nice touch pass and just put the rainbow under and just dropped it right into his hands.
All right, Michael Fields on for the point after try. Harris, the holder. Snap good, hold good, kick up and good. 23-10. Lobos with the lead with 1:36 left to play in the first half. Well, that's a pretty nice little 64-yard drive. Let's take the timeout. We'll come right back in 30. You're listening to us and watching us on Longview Game Day.
Get in the swing at Nippet Golf Indoor Golf Center. Whatever your skill level, you'll have a ball. Or relax in our clubhouse. Work on your game. Play where the pros play. It's the perfect spot for fun with family and friends. Or any celebration or special occasion. Tee it up, East Texas. Book online or walk in today. Nippet Golf Indoor Golf Center.
All right, 1:36 left to play. Lobos on a 23-0 run. And Jalen Hale picks up the touchdown. Now for him, that is touchdown reception, I believe number 15 in the career. He is moving up the Longview list of most touchdown receptions, and he is just 2.5 games into his junior year.
Well, he's wanted by everybody in the country as a receiver and one of the outstanding players in the state of Texas, and he's got more offers than we can tell here in a short period of time.
He just tied Dorian Leonard for 4th place all time. This is a line drive. It'll come down to the 20-yard line. Picked up there and to the 30, 35, 37-yard line. That's Kelly Humber again on the kick return. He goes for about 12, and Tyler's got a minute 29 to try to make something work here from 63 yards away.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Willis does here. He jumped out to a 10-0 lead and has not been able to get it going since then. Will he just lick his wounds and go to the half, or will he try to go downfield here? He hasn't looked very good with his passing game here in the second quarter.
Now he's got a little bit of time, 1:29 and a couple of timeouts, I believe. So first down and 10. And there is Bruckner, and there's your answer. He'll pitch it right, fighting off the tackle from Desmond Isaac and then running over a defender. Pretty impressive run that time from Miller.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, when you are in a funk like they are right now, you want to get the ball in the hands of your best player. They've run that play a couple times where Miller was the dive back, Donnell was the pitch man. They switched at that time, faked the dive to Donnell, pitched to Miller.
1:21 and counting here in the half. Second down and 4. 6 yards on that carry by Miller, which may be his best run of the second quarter. They'll split 3 receivers left. A little confusion for Legacy. They got people moving all over the place. Play clock's down to 5, and they're going to have to take a timeout. Yeah, they had all kinds of problems trying to figure out who was supposed to be where, and we're just going to keep it here during their timeout. 1:21 left to play in the half with the timeout.
Yeah, Eli Howard couldn't decide if he was supposed to be on the line of scrimmage are back off the line. He needed to be back off the line. He would have been a covered receiver had he been on the line of scrimmage. And his inability to decide whether he was on the line or in the back meant that coaches had to call timeout. You talked about the fact they had a couple. I don't think that's how they wanted to use it.
No, not at all. That's a wasted timeout. The Lobos with 23 points here in the half. Just to give you an idea, they had 21 points the first 2 games. So they've eclipsed that in the first 24 minutes of this game. And may lick their chops and try to get some more.
Well, with a minute 21, you'd be happy if you just got out of here with Legacy not scoring any more points. But, you know, it's always a good time for a pick 6.
I said we'd come back to DeCarrion Stanford. 3 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for a loss last week. And yesterday, out in Abilene, McMurray University offered him. Pass on the way. That one in and out of the hands of the intended target, far side of the field. And it's going to bring up 3rd down. Clock stops with that with 1:16 left to play in the half.
Yeah, if you're Bruckner, that's when you're disappointed in. Not only did you hit him in the hands, he would have had an easy get out of bounds on that thing and would have moved the chain, set him up in good shape with time left to do
I
something.
think that was Elijah Howard, the intended target. So here we go, 3rd down and 4. Lobos, I think, they're all out of timeouts now, so everybody's down to
You
none.
look for Willis just to run the football here and take some time off the clock.
Raiders gonna split 3 receivers out in this. Here comes man in motion, that's Howard. Handoff last second, not much. Donnell hit line of scrimmage, dropped right there. How about the bottom of that is Stanford. We just said his name just a minute ago. He leads the way with the tackle, and it's 4th down.
Well, you talked about the fact that the Lobos didn't have timeouts remaining. It was pretty obvious that that circumstance that Legacy, even though they only had 4 yards to gain, would just run the ball and let this clock run down. I'll be surprised if they kick it anytime soon.
Willie Nelson is back. They've got 16 seconds yet to count off the clock. 42 on the game clock, and they're going to snap it early. Here's Baxter's kick. Hangs up high. Nelson's going to come up underneath it. Makes the catch. No fair catch. 45-50, 45-40. He's still on his feet, and he goes diving inside the 25-yard line. And the folks from Legacy are looking for a flag. They're not getting one.
No, there was no fair catch on the play. Looked like for a moment like he was. Unfortunately, I think Willie would have taken it to the house, but he ran into Jesse Fairchild, got tangled up with him, and I tell you what, there's still a little bit of time left.
That's a 42-yard punt return by Willie Nelson. Lobos are setting up shop at the 21-yard line.
You mentioned a few minutes ago, do they have time for another score? The answer is yes.
Well, they got 26 seconds left in the half. They're at the 21-yard line, 1st down 10. And they got Thomas in there at quarterback again. And we got a flag before we're ever going to get going. Whistle, flag, and probably a good thing because that man, number 9, was coming in fast again. Renaud, you don't want him anywhere near the quarterback. We'll mark off 5 yards if somebody moved, and it's 1st down and 15 from the 26-yard line.
We haven't seen how much range the Longview kicker has this year. It's early in the season. We've only called 1 game in person. So it is a still night here, no wind either way. So you expect they need probably at least 10 yards to get a legitimate field goal opportunity.
And there is a conversation going on with Michael Fields, the kicker. He's on the sideline with his coach. Back to pass goes Thomas. He's looking, he'll come up the field and run. He really needs to get out of bounds, and he won't. He goes down at a heap at the 21-yard line. Clock going to keep running now. They're going to have to be in a hurry.
Yeah, that was a poor decision that time by Thomas. He needed to either throw that thing away or get out of bounds.
And they'll have to do something fast. They'll throw it into the ground with 6 seconds left in the half, and now it brings up what's going to be 4th down. Well, 3rd down.
Yeah, we're going to get a field goal attempt either way. There's just not enough time on the clock to run 2 plays. So we're going to get, looks like a 37-yard field goal.
Yep. Isaiah Harris is the holder. Here comes the kick from Fields. He gets a lot of leg on it. He bangs it through from 37 yards away, and with no time on the clock, the Lobos finish the first half with a 26-point flurry to make it a 26-10 score, and they're trotting into the locker room with a very happy Lobo fan base making some noise.
Well, they've seen some offense. They've seen a team take it on the chin in the first few minutes of this ball game, respond well, and if you're the Longview Lobos, it was an exciting half. It started with an onside kick. You didn't recover. It starts with a fumble by your quarterback. It gives them a 10-0 lead. And then in basketball, they call it a run. The Lobos went on a run for 26 unanswered points.
All right, well, 26-10 is our score. We've got bands and drill teams and all marching out on the field. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come right back and we'll get you hooked up for the halftime. You're checking us out right here on Longview Game Day.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
Ram, Hyundai, and Volkswagen for you to choose from. As a winner of the J.D. Powers Customer First Award for Excellence, it's obvious that Patterson puts its customer satisfaction above all else. Come see us today at one of our 3 locations in Tyler.
Patterson Tyler, home of the free lifetime warranty. PattersonTyler.com. Hear that? That's 50,000 Texans. That's how many of us pick Texas psychology every year. Every one of us has a story. A story just like mine. About being so much more than just a patient. So start your story with Texas Oncology and see why they're my team.
The viewers will now entertain you with the Congo Team 2 Whiteout.
2, Compass.
Oh, they got Chick-fil-A sandwiches up there.
Yeah, I didn't want that. Yeah, they have looked at it.
That's the crime. Well, you got a point there.
Marking machine.
They get it more points before they get it. It's over with. Oh, out of that thing there? Oh, let me get back there. Oh, yeah.
on-field palm routine to Kings and Queens. the Red Raider Marching Band. The Tyler Legacy Band is under the field direction of head drum major Addie Jones. Assistant drum majors Maddox Buenaventura, Lydia Schweitzer, and Ella Schoen. Shout out tonight to the Three Lakes Band, the Moore Band, and the Hubbard Band. We have loved having future Red Raiders in the stands tonight. This section of the week is the percussion section. Marchers of the week are Riley Gray, Chloe Booth, Rebecca Katz, Ella Adams, Kristen Johnson, Rafa Francisco, Leslie Sanchez, Josimar Garcia, and Nathan Turner. The Red Raider Marching Band will be performing a portion of their 2021 program entitled Serene. Music by Evan Van Doren. Drill design by Stuart Schulman and percussion by Dario Montgomery.
It's game day. A day that should be spent in the living room, not the kitchen. So next game, you just worry about the score, because we've got the food covered. With hand-battered, cooked-to-order, always fresh, never, ever frozen chicken fingers. Craveable cane sauce, crispy crinkle-cut fries, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade.
I hope you're enjoying halftime. Welcome back, 26-10. Chuck, Zach, Tony, Kirk, as we're coming at you live this afternoon from Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium in Tyler, where for the first couple of minutes it looked like maybe the Tyler Legacy Red Raiders were going to break this 16-year losing streak. The Lobos had other ideas once this game got going, and they got down 10-0. They've scored 26 points. They lead this game 26-10, and in a word, impressive if you can wipe out the first 4 minutes of the game.
It really was. I tell you what, for a team to take as, a body shot, a punch on the chin, whatever analogy you wish to use, they hit them with everything they had early, but somehow the Lobos withstood it and came roaring back, and 26 unanswered points just changed the whole night tonight. It went from, I think, Legacy thinking they had a chance to stop this streak to let's look forward to halftime.
Yeah. How about some scores from the district? We'll start with the ones that matter to you. Those are the district scores. Highland Park into the third quarter, now up 21-0 on Capel. Wiley East down 21-0 to Royce City. West Mesquite is trailing Chisholm by a Chisholm Trail 29-22 there at the halftime. Tyler all over Nacogdoches 30-6. That one's coming up on halftime. At half, it is Marshall leading McKinney North 24-23. Sherman's beaten Saginaw at halftime 35-3. And of course, it's 26-10 here with one more game left before you open up district play. And if you're John King and the Longview Lobo faithful, you got to have a lot of positive feelings with 24 minutes left in this game.
Well, sure, and you want to get back out here and continue to work on your offense. It's really the difference between day and night between last week and this week with their offense. They just seem so much more in sync. I think they saw on the tape they could throw the ball on Legacy. I don't know if Tyler High had success, but they saw something that made them think they could throw the ball. But whether they've been in the spread tonight or they've been under center and just the old-fashioned Longview I formation, they've had success either way against Legacy.
Yeah, so with a 26-10 lead, and I'm still trying to input stats. I'll be honest with you guys, I usually start this from the get-go, but onside kick number 1 and safety on a kick return number 2 are not something that the little program I got on my iPad likes. And so I've been fighting trying to input stuff, and hopefully by the end of this we'll get everything up to date where it should be. But it is an impressive first half for a couple of players. Number 1, Jordan Allen, who's much embattled. It's always better to be the number 2 quarterback. Everybody loves him the most.
Well, I don't know why anybody's hating on Jordan Allen. He is not your prototypical big kid who can, he's not Patrick Mahomes.
No.
But he's a fine high school quarterback, and he does some things very well. But I tell you what, Joshua came in and played well in his time.
Yeah, and Taylor Tatum having an outstanding first half as well. We'll start the second half. Short kickoff. Michael Fields will kick this one down to the 25-yard line, and it will be taken to the 36-yard line, and that is where things will begin. I believe that's Donnell. Oh, it's Willie Nelson on the tackle, sorry.
Yeah, Willie did a good job of turning that thing in.
Yeah, and it's Humber that is the return man for Legacy. And so we'll start the second half with the Lobos defense on the field, and they really had a great first half. A first and goal got pushed into a fourth down situation on the first chance out there. They gave up a 17-yard drive the next time out for a touchdown, and since then they have put up zeros up on the board. And here comes Legacy to start this second half. Bruce Bruckner is their quarterback, and we got a flag down before we ever get going again.
Well, the center moved that ball, but the umpire threw a flag early, and I'm not sure what they saw. He looked over here to the near side at the head linesman to see if the head linesman was going to throw a flag, but it was the umpire that threw it. We'll look to the white hat to sort it all out for us.
Yeah. So we're going to put down no yards.
He's going to wave it off.
We're waving it off. I think he was trying to get the ball set. So here we'll start now. The actual first down, 36-yard line. In the backfield, Kenneth Hawkins back there. And here's the handoff, and that's going to be to Miller. And Miller will turn up the field across the 40 and get his way up to about the 43-yard line. It's a pretty good gain on first down of about 6 yards. And we'll get the tackle that time by Kylan Sublett, the safety. Here's the defense for the Lobos. Billy Smith, Leonard Epps, and Jesse Fairchild. We know they're rotating folks all over. Jeremiah Rugley, Devin Isaac, Caden Brooks, and Tadarian Boone. The linebackers, Willie Nelson, Jaden Simmons. The corners, Chase Smith, Kylan Sublett. And we have seen Buda Garrett, and he's out on the field right now. And he had an awesome first half. First couple of plays, impact plays. So gain of 7 on first down. Second down, another handoff up the middle, and this one's going to be very close to, in fact, have the first down now. And it's Garrett hanging on to Miller for the first down.
A lot of folks in the backfield that time. They had 3 backs
and there's
in
a flag.
The backfield. And,
flag down back at the 43-yard line. So hang on before we give credit for the first down.
Yeah, we're going to have to back that one up, I think.
The white hat's backing up. And now the man holding the football is backing up. He'll take it back to the 37-yard line. So there was a holding penalty right at the end of that. And they're going to have to go back to the 37 and try it again. So it'll be second down and 9 back at the 37-yard line.
As I was saying, a bunch of folks in the backfield that time, a little misdirection of trying to disguise who they were going to hand it off to. Eventually it was Miller, and nice gain for first down, but unfortunately the hold removes that from the book.
So second down and 9. Bruckner back to pass. He's looking middle of the field. He's got a guy there. It's caught by Donnell across the 50. 4 or 5 Lobos hanging on. They'll slam him down at the 46-yard line, but he's got a first down at the Lobo 45.
It almost had the look of a screen, but he went downfield with it, and so a little bit of a disguise that time. They let the defensive line in like it was a screen, but just threw right over the top of them downfield.
18-yard connection between Bruckner and Donnell. First down 45-yard line. Donnell's showing no ill effects from a sprained ankle last week. He has 9 catches, 187 yards on the year. He's good out of the backfield, and on first down, they're going to hand it to him as he tries to go right side and gets across the 45 to the 43 for a couple of yards. 2nd down and 8 coming up.
They opened the game with a lot of zone read. They've gone back to it here in the second half. Quarterback Bruckner rides him as long as he can before he allows him to take off with it. At that time, not a huge game, but in your across midfield, you're looking at 4 downs as a possibility.
9:45 to play, 3rd quarter. 26-10 Lobos. 2nd down and 8. And Bruckner again going to hand off up the middle. That one got submarined in a big hurry. You heard his name a lot last week. To Darian Boone, who had 9 tackles, 3 for losses, hit him first in the backfield. He'll fall forward for a yard, and it's 3rd down and 1. Excuse me, 3rd down and 7.
If you got Boone coming in there, that may have been some type of linebacker run blitz that time. They went straight handoff to Miller up the middle.
You see big number 78, Ethan Pulte, in there in the middle of the defensive line. He's coming in this time around. 3rd down and 7. Omarion Watkins in there as well, in the middle. Oh, and a couple of Longview guys jumped. There was contact, and finally a whistle.
Well, the left tackle also jumped, and I don't know what we got there on the far side. We'll see.
Well, left tackle moved, but did he get pushed by the contact coming in? And indeed, that's what we're going to call offsides.
Well, in the old days, you didn't call that guy backing up. That time he came across, they threw the flag, and it's going to be 3rd and short, which if you're the play caller for Tyler Legacy, you haven't had a lot of these tonight.
No, you really haven't. 3rd down in a couple. So what we speculate is 4-down territory now obviously becomes 4-down territory.
We'll see if they try to go play action, look downfield.
3rd down and 2. Miller, the lone back behind Bruckner. He'll give him the ball. He's got a 1st down. He's going to the house. Forget about it. That thing opened up in a hurry. 37 yards later, Legacy gets their first score since the 1st quarter to make this a 26-16 ball game.
It was really set up before the snap. A great job of looking like they were going to put a running back into the pass formation downfield. They got Boone to stretch out a little to the outside of the tackle box. When they got him moved out, there was nobody there when they hit that off-tackle play, and he took it to the house.
There's Christian Baxter on for the point-after try. Another fast-starting half for the Red Raiders. Point-after up and good. 26-17 to score, 8:34 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's been a night of streaks. They scored 10, Longview scored 26, and now the Raiders come out here in the 2nd half and put 7 up early.
That's 6 plays, 64-yard drive for the touchdown. Miller getting in the end zone for, I think that's his 1st touchdown of the game. Donnell had the earlier one, so that's 1 touchdown now for Jarian Miller. Miller on the season. He comes into this year with 28 carries, 299 yards. That's a 10-yard average. He had 2 touchdowns on the season, so he gets his 3rd. Last year for the full season, 1,631 yards, 20 touchdowns. His average per carry, 9.8 yards per carry.
Well, what you like about Miller, he doesn't mind doing the dirty work between the tackles. You tend to think of breakaway backs like that doing most of the work to the outside. But he does it in between the tackles, runs a lot of dive plays, almost like a veer back in the day. But he looked good on that one as it just, the Red Sea opened up and he took it to the house. I think it's more of a green sea that time.
Yeah, it was some kind of sea. All right, back deep for the Lobos. Amarian Hamilton to Kalen Taylor back at the 10-yard line. Line drive kick hooking out of bounds. And we'll get a flag on that one as it goes out of bounds around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that'll be at the 35-yard line for the Lobos is where they'll set up shop here. Good field position to start 2nd half. We'll see who comes in there at quarterback. Will it be the return of Joshua Thomas, or are we going to get the starter back in there?
You know, Looks like Thomas is over there talking to the coach, so it looks like we're going to get some of Josh Thomas to start this second half. Here's the offensive line. Jax Norman, Mongo Williams, Tavion Morgan, Ethan Pulte, and Martin Guerrero. Victor Bush is the tight end. Jartaven Wright and Jalen Hale, the receivers. Isaiah Harris, the fullback. Taylor Tatum in the backfield with Josh Thomas running the show to start this second half. First down and 10, 30-yard line. Hand off to guys, actually Jarrett rather, that's in there. Instead, they did not go with Thomas to begin things. Instead, they went with Jarrett Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis did a good job. Nice hole for him, and he followed the big blocker through the hole and picked up 8 yards on first down.
So gain of 8, second down and 2 coming up. This is the same offensive unit they had out there at the end of the first half. They played well enough, they're giving them another chance. Fullback this time, Elijah Johnson. Hand off to Johnson. He's sweeping right, first down, 46-yard line, 45-yard line. He'll gain 7 and they'll move the chains.
Not sure if all that going on in the backfield prior to the snap was a smoke screen or there was really some concern. As you see Joshua come over to talk to Coach King, I think there was some concern. Eventually they moved the fullback over. We talked in the first half about this sophomore fullback. That's another good carry for him, but looked a little out of sync prior to the snap.
Blair Williams in there at offensive line. Now he's at right guard. He's getting a start in this half. Man in motion, that's Taylor. We'll hand it to him, jet sweep, and boy, blown up. And you've seen 9 in the first half. Jordan Renaud, do not run near him. Run away from that bad man as he throws down Taylor for a loss back at the 43-yard line. Second down and 12 coming up.
We've seen Derek Brown, the commit from Texas High, going to the University of Texas, play a lot. This kid reminds me of a lot of him. He is just a very active defensive lineman that you could line up outside. You could probably put him in a linebacker position, but he's a sure-handed tackler and a big hitter.
Yeah. Renaud is not a local here. He moved into this area. Second and 12, back to pass Thomas, looking long. He's got Jalen Hale back there, catches it on the run, and he's going to be drugged down inside the 10-yard line, up at around the 5. It'll be first and goal. Hale with the big gain.
Every time I see Hale downfield like that, I'm more impressed. That time, he had broken away, had great separation, but the ball was a little behind him. Instead of running away from it, he just slowed down. He's got such great rhythm with the football. He slowed down, knew he was going to get caught because of it, but didn't give up the reception.
50-yard gain, first and goal. Handoff, Lewis. Oh, dropped the ball. He was inside the 5 and he lost the football, and then Legacy's going to get it back at the 4-yard line.
Tell you what, if you're Joshua Thomas, you got to be heartbroken. You had another opportunity to put up points while you were in the ball game. You made a big pass play, but you don't reap the benefits from it with a score.
Jared Lewis with the fumble. Well, they're knocking on the door to maybe put Legacy out of their misery here. Instead, big fumble. And Legacy's going to take the ball over inside the 10-yard line. They'll get it at about the 7.
Those possessions right after the half, you always want to see what the coaches have done to adjust. We saw Legacy adjust and get a score. Looked like Longview was going to get it. Now we'll see if Legacy can continue their success here in the second half.
All right, so first down, Legacy. They're going to try to run out of the end zone and almost get safety. Devin Isaac again blowing up the play. Short loss, maybe, to about the 1-yard line. We got a Lobo down at the 2-yard line. Hey, and while we're waiting on the trainers to come out and treat them, don't forget, if you're checking us out on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever, like it, share it, let other folks know, hey, the game is on Longview game day, and we can see everything that's going on. But you got to let people know. So we're imploring you, help us out, be kind, share.
Sharing's always good.
It's caring. Sharing is caring.
We learned that in elementary school. It's always good to share. And right now, the trainer's out there, Coach King's out there. I think I know who it is, but I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to give the number out before I'm 100% sure. Looks like maybe one of the physicians that is on the sideline for Tyler's out there to help him out as well.
And of course, we're going to keep the camera off the player down while he's down. So if you're watching it and going, well, I'm seeing the guys huddle up and I'm not seeing what's going on. Well, we're not. It's high school guys, and we're not showing you what's going on down there until we're sure the condition of the young man's okay.
Yeah, that's Boone who's down.
And he is sitting up, and that's good. All right, so what's going to be coming up is going to be a 2nd down and long, as they'll help Darian off the field.
Boone's a big part of this defense. He's really their playmaker on defense. He hasn't had a huge night tonight, but if you're a Longview fan, you do not like the sight of that, him being helped off the field.
Now his backup is McKalen Flowers, and I'm looking for 17 to see if they're bringing him into the game in replace. And I'm seeing Jeremiah Bragg. I think they're bringing Jeremiah in instead. He's going to be the linebacker taking that spot for Boone. So 2nd down and 13 coming up back at the 2-yard line. Bruckner's in his end zone. He's going to go back to pass, looking right side. Oh, right in and out of the hands in what looked like a for sure interception for safety Kylan Sublett, but the ball came a little hot at him. And it's going to be 3rd down and 13.
Bruckner had a lot on that ball that time. That's the only thing that kept it from being a pick 6. We'll keep an eye on the near side here to see as they check on Boone's injury. It'll be really interesting to see how the Lobos respond. They just saw one of the leaders of their defense being helped off the field. They've got an opportunity here to really kind of seal this thing away early in the second half if they can stop them and force them to punt here on their own end.
3rd down and 13. Again, Bruckner's in his end zone. He's back to pass. He's in all kinds of trouble and tries to get it to Donnell. He's pushed all the way out of the back of the end zone, is Bruckner, as he had people all over him at the beginning of that Omarion Watkins, and it's 4th down and 13 from about the 2-yard line.
Lobos sent a lot of people. It's probably fortunate. I think Donnell could have had a huge gain if he's able to get that thing to his hands. He had a lot of green in front of him, and it wasn't Longview uniforms. It was just the turf here at Earl Campbell's field.
Boy, Willie Nelson showing no respect. He is at the 28-yard line where he's set up for this punt return. Baxter's going to be standing his heels just inside the white at the back of the end zone, and they're a player short. They're having to run a guy in. 3 seconds, 2 on the play clock. They get the snap off, and the punt gets out of there, and Nelson's playing it perfectly. Fair catch called for and made at the 28-yard line.
Well, you talked about how shallow he was. The punter for Legacy didn't have his typical distance between the deep snapper and himself. He's on the back line back there with a short space, but he did a good job of getting it off, just not a lot on it. They're going to set up, I think they eventually put it on the 28-yard line.
So Longview, after the fumble inside the 10-yard line, again the defense forces a 3 and out, and again they're going to get great field position for the offense. And we're going to get same group back in there, Jarrett Lewis in the backfield. Harris is the fullback in front of him, and it's Thomas at quarterback. They'll hand off to Lewis, and he'll pull it inside the 25 to about the 23, maybe the 22-yard line for a gain of 6.
It's interesting, they're changing their sets of skill position people, or at least in the backfield. Hale continues to be out there no matter who's at quarterback, but it's interesting that Thomas is out there operating without Taylor Tatum in the backfield.
I tell you, we're getting our first look at Jamerson Derensburg. He checks, and he's number 48, as you saw him join the huddle.
Going to line up at the tight end position on the left side.
Hale's in the slot right now on the right or near side. Outside of him is Hamilton. And how about a run all the way from Thomas? Boy, gets out of a tackle at the 12, still on his feet, and gets into the end zone. All effort, Josh Thomas. Touchdown run, 22 yards, and the Lobos have a 32-17 lead.
That was a design run. He never looked downfield. Hale did a really good job. He sealed the linebacker, allowed him to get past him. After that, he was just kind of on his own and looked like a running back, keeping those legs pumping and pushing it into the end zone.
Michael Fields on for the point after try. It's up,
blocked.
And it's blocked. And they're going to try to return this back the other way, but Lobos all over it, and they'll bring it down at the 10-yard line. So the score will stay 32-17 with 4:49 left to play in the third quarter. Lobos with a big lead on the short field. 2 plays, 28 yards to go up by 15.
We're going to just keep it here?
I guess we are.
All right. Well, a good answer for the Lobos that time is after they fumble the ball inside the 5, defense holds stiff even after seeing Boone's injury, get the ball back on their 28, and then Joshua Thomas continues to show he may be the backup at this point, but he's a great option at quarterback as he's engineered 2 scoring drives tonight.
We're going to go back to the replay real quick. Here's Thomas's run. And you can see him run through 1 tackle, run through 2 more, and just bully his way over the defender, Aaron Sears, the safety, to get himself a touchdown.
Yeah, nice. As we said, design run for Thomas. We talked about him maybe being a little better passer. He showed he's not any drop-off with his feet.
All right, well, there's the lead you're looking for. They extend it out a little bit more. They fumbled the last chance down there, didn't even matter. The defense gets a 3 and out, the short field 2 plays later, you got your score anyway.
Tell you what, we've enjoyed the band at halftime. Both teams tonight, I know we've got big 5A, small 6A, but the folks in the stands are adding to this tonight.
You're not kidding. It's great to have people back in the stands. All right, Fields to kick off. And here we go, another short pooching kick. This one's going to come down to the 22-yard line. That's Donnell again, and he'll run over a defender, get outside the 35. And they're still having a little extracurricular all the way into the bench, and now a late flag comes in.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see. Hopefully that's not on the Lobos, as they played that pretty well. Good job that time by Legacy. They moved Donnell to where Humbler had been all night. They saw that's where they've been putting the kick. They got somebody better prepared to return it and got a little more out of it. We'll see if there's a penalty tacked on to the end of that. Now they're going to wave it off.
Yeah, they were holding each other up. Eisel and Taylor, who's made a big play earlier in this game, holding up Donnell. So they're going to wave that thing off and say he wasn't trying to throw him down. He wasn't trying to tackle him. He was holding him up. So they'll put this thing out of bounds down on the 40-yard line. That's where Tyler will take over.
Looked like Freddie Freeman and Juan Soto just make it nice.
Nice. All right, 1st down and 10 Legacy. They're going to hand off 1st down. That's Miller. They got the big run the last time. This time he gets 4 yards before he's upended. And it looks like on the bottom of the pile that time for, yeah, let's see, 50. I haven't seen him in the game a whole lot. Is that 50 after all? Maybe not. I got Norman, but I don't think that's who it was.
58's got his jersey kind of pulled up, and 58 looks like 50 sometimes.
That may be it. 4-yard gain, though, for Miller, so it's 2nd down and 6.
Legacy trying to make a comeback, but they are a run-oriented ball club.
And the clock is running. 4 minutes left in the third. Longview moved, but didn't get across the line. Handoff again to Miller. Going to go with the workhorse. He'll drag the ball inside the 45 to the 42-yard line for another 1st down.
Yeah, and I'm afraid Miller may have cramped up there. We'll see. I hope that's all that is. He's down. Also, Devin Isaac's down for the Lobos. I don't know if they had a collision or...
Yeah, they may have gotten tangled up coming down, but both of the very impactful players both laying on the ground in some discomfort right now. They'll help Miller get up. And now the trainer's coming out to take a look at Isaac.
Well, if you're the Lobos, you've already lost Boone tonight, and looks like they're still attending to him over here on the near side. I'll be a little surprised if we see him back in tonight, but Harris is another one of the leaders of this Lobo defense.
All right, let's take a 30-second break. Well, you say that, and he's up anyway. So we're going to stay. Never mind, we're going to stick. Devin Isaac walking out on his own. A little bit of grabbing maybe those ribs. But I think he looks like he's doing all right. I mean, from up here, and I'm sitting, and I feel pretty good. He looks like he's doing all right.
Yeah,
down there, maybe not.
Demarius Hunter, 29, is going to check in. Looks like he's going to take his place over there. No, Hunter goes to the huddle and then comes back off.
Yeah.
So.
All right, well, it'll be first down at the 43-yard line. Miller has to check out for the play as well. And a late Red Raider checking into the game. Clock running again, 3:45, first down, 43-yard line. Man in motion coming toward Bruckner. And they'll hand it off inside Donnell, 2 yards maybe. And again, Lobos' run defense has just been outstanding tonight.
Well, early on they had a little bit of luck, the Red Raiders running between the tackles. And they had the big play here at the second half just inside the tackle. But other than that, you're right. The Lobo defensive line has been very stingy tonight, giving up much yardage between the tackles.
Second down and 8, the 41-yard line. Trying to see if Miller's checked back into the game. I don't see him yet. It's like Donnell still in the backfield. And back to pass, Bruckner looking right side. Throws through the hands of the receiver and then through the hands of Jaden Simmons, who had a chance at it as well. Eli Howard was first with his hands on it, but he couldn't secure it. And then it was Simmons for the incomplete.
We talked about Simmons a lot last week. Hadn't mentioned him much tonight. That's really attributed to the fact that Tyler Legacy's looked downfield rarely tonight, but Simmons, one of those sophomore corners, looked very good a week ago against Marshall. That time he was coming up to make the hit, and just as the ball came through, didn't have an opportunity to pull it in.
All right. Zarius Shepard's checked in for the Lobos on third down and 8. Bruckner back to pass. Here comes the rush. Smith giving chase, completed it out there to Donnell, and Donnell just gets raked. Buddha again. Just puts the pain onto Donnell. Maybe a yard gain, 2 yards at the most, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
Big play that time by 38. He came through there and brought a truck with him and hit him with everything he had. And looks like Legacy's going to drop into punt formation.
Yeah, smart. Baxter in. They got cute earlier, and it almost cost him. Baxter's back on his 45. Nobody deep for the Lobos. They're not convinced it's a punt. And it's not. Short snap. It's going to go to Renaud, and he's not going anywhere. Renaud, rather. And there's a flag on that. Maybe a face mask. Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate.
They read it. They knew it wasn't going to be a kick. Renaud was the guy that got the snap on the direct snap. He wasn't going anywhere, and it may be an unfortunate accident. Somebody got a hand up in the face mask.
Yeah, reminds you, we don't have the 5-yard one anymore. It's either 15 or nothing.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big one. That's 15 yards and automatic first down there.
So the face mask penalty on the fake punt. They knew it, they sniffed it, they stopped it, and somebody just made an effort mistake. Got the hand up in the face mask, and it'll allow Legacy to keep this drive alive. We're down to 2:09 to play in the third quarter. 32-17, the Lobos with the lead.
Go ahead.
Ball's going to be placed down at the 28-yard line. So after the 15-yard penalty, new life for the Red Raiders. And on first down, handoff, it's Donnell. Oh, he breaks a couple tackles. Nice move. Now trying to go wide. Can't get away from Willie Nelson, who will bring him down with help from Devin Isaac, who got back in the game a couple of plays ago. It's a gain out to the 20, make it the 19-yard line. They'll pick up the first down.
People typically don't run draw plays on first down. That was a little bit of a draw play. He looked like he was going back and going to run play action. Last second, he wrapped it around, put it in his belly, and big first down gain.
So up to the 18-yard line. He needed 10. He got 10. Under 120 to play in the third. Bruckner empty backfield. He'll move Donnell from right to left. Now he'll come and camp up behind the quarterback, or next to him now. Bruckner handoff on another draw. A little delay inside. Donnell breaking tackles. Lobos hanging on. And it's going to bring up second down. Caleb Woolridge hit him first in the backfield.
Yeah, a lot of pre-snap smoke and mirrors on that play. Donnell started out lined up in the slot, went in motion. Looked like he was going to go to the slot on the near side. Eventually found his way to the backfield, set up next to him, and he puts it in his belly, and they gained 4 on first down.
You know, we saw Devin Isaac back in the game. We have not seen Jamarian Miller check back in since the two collided a while ago. And now I say that Miller's back in. Miller behind the quarterback. And Lobos moved but got back. He'll fake the handoff. Bruckner going to late pitch out to Donnell. Forget it. Sniffed it out, blew it up back at the 20-yard line for a loss of, about 3-4 yards. That's Fallon Sublett again in there on the tackle, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, they had triplets to the far side. Before the snap, Longview realized they didn't have 3 people out there. Eventually slid somebody out there, but they didn't bite on that being a pass play and just run all the way.
Well, they ran out the 3rd quarter. We'll take a timeout. They're going to flip sides of the field. We're back in 30 seconds here on Longview Game Day.
And now at OR, we want to buy your used vehicle and we'll give you guaranteed top dollar for yours. And if you prefer to trade, even better, with massive savings on every new vehicle at OR Cadillac GMC in Longview.
All right, you see Coach King roaming the sideline last week, his 190th win of a very storied career. He's still looking for more. He broke a 5-way tie with that 190th win in the coaching ranks as he keeps moving up the ladder.
Got any results on anybody else this week? How's the rest of the athletic program been this week?
Well, you mentioned that, and the volleyball coach a little bit ago sent me a text that they didn't have a good night. They didn't do well against Hallsville today.
That's not good news. That's not what we wanted to hear.
Nah, we got a flag to start things. But we do have this. Earlier in the week in volleyball, they won in a 5-set match over the White House Lady Wildcats. So that one we'll take. Tuesday was good day. Sub-varsity last night. Tell you what, Longview's JV wins 47-20 over Legacy. The 9th grade A team wins 30-7. The B team wins 12-0. And in tennis team won a 12-7 victory over Sulphur Springs earlier in the week. They're still unbeaten in district play. They'll take on Hallsville next Tuesday.
Pretty good week for Lobo athletics.
Not bad at all. 5-yard penalty on Legacy. They had a little motion before we got going. So it'll bring up 3rd down and 17. Bruckner back to pass, throws toward the sideline, incomplete. No flag, even though Lobo fans were wanting a lot of flag.
Yeah, I don't know how they missed the hold on Harris, who was coming from the end on the far side, but either way was no call. It's going to be 4th and long, and they've already kind of used their fake putt up. Let's see what else they've got. They're going to go field goal.
Well, they're down by 15. Field goal puts them down by 12. It really doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of difference. You still need 2 more touchdowns even if you make this field goal.
Well, you got a 42-yarder out here. Got to be careful. It looks like we're going to get a timeout by somebody.
Yeah.
Looks like Longview wants a timeout.
And while we said they used up their fake on the punt, that doesn't mean they used it up on the field goal. And if you're wanting to be safe on this, the difference of the attempt for the 3 or the conversion on 4th down to get 7 or 6 is worth a timeout.
Well, we know this kid's got a pretty good leg, and I think he's got the distance. What you worry about is sometimes on these longer field goal kicks, these younger kids have a tendency to want to kick a line drive and get a mid up and maybe knock that thing down, and then you're concerned about returning a block punt. We'll see what Coach King's got. You're probably right. First and foremost, we're probably worried about a fake.
Yeah. Well, let's see. We talked when we were in the pregame watching them warm up. We know that Xander Johnson is the holder. He's a defensive back. So it's not like he's the backup quarterback. He's a defensive back playing holder. And they've gone away from the field goal, it looks like. Well, are they or aren't they? Thought maybe they would set up a punt, but no, Johnson's going back there anyway. He was setting up his offense. Let's see if we're going for real. Kick is on the way. Pretty big leg that time. And how about that one? Well done. That's from 42 yards away, the field goal for Christian Baxter, and he cuts the lead to 32-20.
No surprise he had plenty of leg on that. He's looked good on his kickoffs tonight, even though he started with a very short one. to himself on the opening kickoff. When he's had an opportunity to air it out, he's shown he's got a big leg. That time through the uprights and tightens this thing up to a 12-point ball game.
Yeah, Longview had that ball a long time. They ran out the third quarter, an 11-play drive. They didn't get in the end zone, but they got some points. And while we said it's still a 2-score game, it's now in the position where it's a 2-score game and you don't even have to convert an extra point to at least tie this game. Before, you would have had to make at least one extra point and one 2-point conversion. Now you're in a place where if you score 2 touchdowns, you're probably going to win this thing or at least tie it if you can shut Longview out the rest of the way.
Well, that's going to be the secret. Can you keep Longview out of the end zone? Longview, at times tonight, seems to move the ball at will, only to disrupt their own drives with a mistake here and there. But they can have a clean drive here. It'll be interesting to see, will it be Joshua Thomas or will Allen be back in at some point here in the second half?
Well, I'm intrigued as well. We didn't see Taylor Tatum at all in the third quarter.
No, we haven't.
So we'll see if that becomes a thing. Here's the kickoff. It's a line drive, and it's going to bounce out of bounds again for a second time now. Longview's kicker has not given, Tyler's kicker has not given his team a chance to make a play. He's booted the ball out of bounds and allowed the Lobos to get the ball in really good field position again.
I want to think that was Robles that kicked that. That was not their usual kicker. They came up and did the quick surge like they were going to kick it, and they actually did that time.
All right, so Longview will take over at the 30-yard line. First down and 10, 11:50 left in this game.
Joshua Thomas back out there, quarterback.
Hamilton split out wide left. On first down, we're going to hand off Elijah Johnson, the fullback, hitting the backfield, loss of a couple. Second down and 12 coming up.
We've seen that play 3 or 4 times tonight. That's almost like a curveball in baseball. You try to catch them with that as an off speed. That time they'd seen it enough that they reacted to it much quicker and more successfully.
Yeah, Jeremiah Sheffy back there for the hit. 2 and 9. And add 20 to the mix. We saw LeBrendo Flowers make a few plays in the first half as well. Those 3 guys are playmakers. Second down and 12. Hale's going to split out wide to the left. 2 in the backfield along with Thomas, and he's going to hand the ball off. That's Jarrett Lewis. First down across the 40 as he bounces out to the 43-yard line. That one gets you a little bit of thank you very much.
Yeah, that was a great play. Unfortunately, they lose an offensive lineman on that play. I think that's 79 coming off. They gather the front of their jerseys. We have a little trouble picking up on the front side.
Well, that's 79, and that is DeQuaylen Vaughn. He wears 79 and 84, and he's 79 as an offensive lineman, and he does come off the field.
A good job that time. Left side of that offensive line really opened that thing up.
First down, the clock gets to keep running. Under 10 and a half to play, ball game. Handoff. First down, Johnson, the fullback to the 49-yard line for a gain of 6.
Came back that time with Johnson, and he hit the hole just inside the tackle. Big gain, 6 yards on first down. That's, if you can keep doing that, you can move the chains.
Clock keeps rolling. That one's the thing that matters. If you're a Longview fan, that clock can't run fast enough. And if you're a Tyler fan, boy, you're begging for that clock to stop. Second down and 4. Taylor in motion, whistle blowing, and little extracurricular after the fact, but this is going to be a problem for the Lobos.
I'm not sure that's motion there.
And I think they may have had 2 guys moving.
Well, I don't know if they had 2 guys moving or they even got set. It just didn't look smooth from the get-go. And Joshua Thomas back over there after the big first down gain. Now it's 2nd and 9.
Yep. Taylor's going to check out of the game. Thomas will bring the play back into the huddle. He has been the quarterback the entire second half. We have not seen Jordan Allen. We have not seen Taylor Tatum at all in this second half. Back to pass. Oh boy, he's got a man if he can get it there. Long, late throw. Hale's back there. Catches it at the 20. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Lobos.
Tell you what, for a moment it looked like he wasn't going to be able to find him. He picked up a block late in the backfield, bought him some time. He airs it out. I don't know if that was, I think that may have been Johnson who picked him up and gave him enough time to get the pass downfield. We'll have to check the replay on that.
Hale blew by the corner, 56-yard touchdown. It's his second 50-plus yard play in the game. Fields on for the point after. They had a little trouble with the snap, but they get it up and good, and that'll make it a 39-20 ball game with 9:24 to play in the ball game. We'll take a break right back here, listening and watching Longview Game Day.
Don't fumble when you're looking for your next trailer. At R&J Trailers, we got the hookup. Cargo Mate, Hallmark, Text Line, Diamond C. We've got the inventory selection to get you into the end zone. Snap into savings with R&J Trailers. Don't pass up on the best deals around. R&J Trailers in Longview and online at rnjtrailers.com. We've got the hookup.
Welcome back. 9:24 left in this one. Let's see if we can grab maybe a replay. I don't know if we got one queued up or not. We're getting it. Here we go. Watch it. Hale's going to blow by the secondary. Thomas with a little sidestep, and look at our distance. 5 yards between him and the nearest defender. Second touchdown catch of the night. And by the way, that's now 4th place by himself for Jalen Hale in Longview's touchdown receiving record. He now passes Dorian Leonard. And watch out Malcolm Kelly, because Jalen Hale is coming for you. Kelly had 18, Hale's got 16 now.
Hale has the Lobo faithful howling through the megaphones, as that's the way they celebrate touchdowns down in Gregg County, is with a loud howl. And right now, the Lobos are on the prowl.
That is 4 catches I have for Hale. You can see the bouncing kickoff as it comes all the way down to the 16-yard line rather. And returned out across the 35 to the 40-yard line. I've got 4 catches, and I'll probably have to go back and look because, again, I'm kind of, informal right now. But I've got him with 139 yards, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns.
And we've talked about in the past, they will figure out how to begin to use him. They opened the game tonight trying to go deep downfield. I think what we're seeing with the play action is really the most effective way. He'll get his opportunities. There's just not a lot you can do. That time, once again, he beat the safety deep.
5 plays, 70 yards. 39-20. Handoff, first down. Not much. Miller up to maybe the 44-yard line, gain of 3. And the Lobos will take that all day long.
Tell you what, that was an interesting decision by the Lobo defense that time. Once again, triplets here on the near side. They only put 2 men out at him. They're just not convinced that Legacy's looking to throw the ball downfield.
39-20, 8:50 and counting. Second down, 7. This is Bruckner keeping it himself, and he'll run over a defender and then get smoked from behind.
That's Fairchild.
Big truck coming as he runs him over at the 50-yard line, and unfortunately, Jesse Fairchild hops up limping off the field.
Yeah, that's a couple of big-time defenders for the Lobos. That may just be a cramp here. We'll see what he's got here.
5-yard gain, 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, they're going to treat it like a cramp. That's actually good news.
Yeah. Red Raiders have to get across the 50 for the first down. They'll set 3 receivers far side of the field, and they'll send a 4th in that direction as well. And now they're going to hand off Miller with all that meat on that side of the field. He gets the first down and more across the 40, and finally pushed out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, cramps may be breaking out right now. Looks like that may be Buddha down, and he's looking like he may be cramping up at this point as well.
Yeah, it's not terribly hot right now, but it's humid.
And it was hot at kickoff.
Well, they're going to keep him out there, it looks like. We were talking about the break and maybe not. Trainer started to come out. Buddha got up. He don't want to come off.
Well, he's going to have to come off for a play. They stopped the clock, and so they're going to have to bring him off. But
he didn't play the first 2 weeks, and he doesn't want to come off the field here in week 3, his first action this season. But he's coming off under his own power, and we'll put a new body in there on what will be a first down for the Red Raiders at at the 38-yard line.
Right now, we got a little problem with the chain crew. They've
well, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a hold. That's what it was. So while it was a nice little run that time for Miller, he got a little extra nice on that run because somebody was holding behind the play. So they'll move this thing back to the 45-yard line. So the problem wasn't the chain gang, it was us.
Yeah, we'll see if they get that thing set up like where they need to. They don't have the, booth to turn to get the right spot.
So 3rd down and 14 now. I'll put it down on the 45-yard line. The first down's up at around the 42.
Yeah, they're still trying to get the chain set. They don't have it set correctly.
No, they don't. They're going to have to figure this out. Longview's going to run a couple of guys in and out right now as Watkins comes hustling off the field, but they still do not have the back end of the chain where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, hopefully nobody moved the clip yet. The clip is what tells you where to go back to when the chains move.
Yeah, officials trying to get flags in the right guy's hands, and there's still not right. Still not right.
Umpire protecting the football. Make sure nobody gets in too big a hurry. Whitehead's going to crank the clock, and here we go.
Yeah, so under 8 to play. They've changed it to 3rd down and 7, so now they've got stuff right. And here we go, back to pass Bruckner. Pressure coming, in some trouble. Getting chased, goes down. Sack Caden Brooks. 4th down coming up.
Good job. The end on the far side flushed him. They were able to pick him up, but it forced Bruckner to move out of the pocket, and when he did, it was an easy play on the far side.
Loss of 6. 4th down 13. 7:30 left to play. And we'll see if Legacy's going to punt the ball away here. I mean, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to punt unless you just want to keep the score at 39-20.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. You probably want to try to get some points on the board here.
And they're going to, we've told you before, Bruckner can punt. He'll back up, though he's not punting. He's going to try to air one deep. He got hit from behind, got away from it. Still keeps his feet, throws high, incomplete. It'll be Lobo ball all the way up at the 39-yard line. They'll take over with a short field. Devin Isaac was one of the guys in there. Chase Smith, the other, that were harassing the quarterback and forcing the incomplete.
Yeah, he had Aaron Sears open over there on the home side, but he just overthrew him. Never got his feet set, never had an opportunity to complete the pass. And it looks like Joshua Thomas is going to finish the night out at quarterback.
And I don't think we're going to see Taylor Tatum at all tonight anymore either.
I have not located him on the sideline, so.
So 1st down, 39-yard line. Lobos up by 19, 7:01 left to play. Tell you what, Hale could run by him again. They'll hand off on 1st down, and it'll be a short gain that time for Kentravion McFarland as he gets up near the 35-yard line. Gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Right now, I think Coach Keene is just content to run out the clock, let some of these other guys get some touches tonight.
Well, we're going to remind you, we'll be back on the air here on Longview Game Day next Friday night. We're back at Lobo. Bryant High School from Arkansas is coming in, and it should be a Donnybrook, 3-time state champion, the Hornets of Bryan, Arkansas. Handoff on 2nd down, and it was not a handoff. Thomas kept it himself, and he got stonewalled the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Yeah, a little zone read that time, and he just kept. I'll let you talk some more about Bryan, Arkansas. Let the fans know what to expect.
How about 32 straight wins? They're off this week. How about 3 years in a row running? They are the 7A state champion in Arkansas. That's the highest classification in that state. Last time they lost a game was October the 26th, 2019. They lost to Little Rock High School, North Little Rock. 3 weeks later, they beat them in a rematch for the state championship, 27-7. Here we go on 3rd down. Thomas direct snap, just rolling left, got the 1st down, down this near sideline and out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. We got a late flag.
Yeah, I think they're going to get 48 with the takedown.
Yeah, that is Derensburg, Jamerson Derensburg, well after the 1st down. He was so far down the field.
I'll tell you what, Wright did a great job that time. Number 80, Tervin Wright. How do you pronounce that 80 there? Help me out there.
What?
Number 80 there. Is it Tervin?
Jartaven.
Jartaven
Wright.
Jartaven.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get it right.
You got it right. He's right. You're right.
Well, Jartaven made a great block downfield, and unfortunately it's going to go for naught as they mark the walk-off of the blocking. Now I think they got him for a hold downfield.
Well, boy, I'll tell you where that penalty was, the 22-yard line. So they'll mark it back to the 32-yard line from the penalty. And really, we got a gain of a couple yards on that, and they'll replay third down. So what was 3rd down and 7 now is 3rd down and 4.
Got all that, your little device?
No, I can't. Forget the device is gone. The device broke with the onside kick.
Was it the onside kick or the safety?
Well, the onside kick broke it or tilted it, and the safety broke it. And since then, I've been playing paper and pencil. Thank goodness I brought paper and you brought a pencil. So 3rd down and 4, 5:32 left here in the fourth quarter. Thomas will hand off to Lewis. They're going to go left again. Boy, Lewis looked like he got grabbed by the helmet, but he still surges forward, and now there's more late contact. Hale gets tied up.
I would say I would get Hale off the field at this point. He got tied up in a block and got tossed to the ground.
Yeah,
and,
Scott with him. Adarian Scott was the defender that Jalen got tied up with. Ball moves out to the 26-yard line. That's enough for the first down. They'll move the chains.
Well, any hopes that the Red Raiders had of being the kings of East Texas, I think are going to fall by the wayside. They had victories over Lufkin, Tyler High, but once again, the Longview Lobos proved to be too much for Tyler Legacy.
Yeah, 5 minutes and counting now here in the game. Thomas under center, hands off. Taylor's the tailback this time. 25-yard line. We'll have another late push. I tell you what, Jalen Hale is extremely physical. He's going up for passes. We know he's physical going after the football. He's been physical blocking here, which if you want to play, you better be a blocking wide receiver. And he'll check out. We're making sure he doesn't get tangled up in anything.
Joshua Harrison has checked in, and I think that's about 2 plays later than I would have gone to get him, but glad to see Joshua get some playing time.
All right, yard gain for Taylor on first down. 2nd down and 9. Pitch coming left again, near side and running out of bounds. We'll have some late contact. Taylor again on the carry. The only bad part about that is he went out of bounds. But it'll be 3rd down coming up. He got up to about the 23-yard line, so 3rd down and 7. Well, quite the night for the Lobos. A horrible start, and for some teams, you roll up the tent and say, this is not our night. And for this team, they took a couple of bad punches early, got staggered, got a chance to get some smelling salts and back out there, and then they wailed away on Tyler Legacy. They have outscored them 39-10 since 4 minutes into this game. Snap down on the ground. Thomas scoops it up and tries to go forward, and he'll get held up at around the 22-yard line. 4th down's coming up.
Now, if you're going to make players of the game for Tyler, it'd be pretty easy. I thought Renault was outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
You said he's a recent move-in?
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
You made me think about that, didn't you?
Well, I want you to tell me. That's why I'm asking you.
I had that piece of paper a half hour ago. Now it's long gone. Renaud, let's see. Oh, he was in Florida.
Okay.
Palmetto High School in Florida and Louisville. He was at Louisville High School as well before he came to Legacy. Let's take a quick timeout. We'll come right back in 30 seconds.
Get in the swing at Nippet Golf Indoor Golf Center. Whatever your skill level, you'll have a ball. Or relax in our clubhouse. Work on your game. Play where the pros play. It's the perfect spot for fun with family and friends. Or any celebration or special occasion. Tee it up, East Texas. Book online or walk in today. Nippet Golf Indoor Golf Center.
All right, 4:05 left in the game. How about some scores from the district? Sherman with a win tonight, 52-10 over Saginaw. Highland Park up 28-13. That one's almost over Capel. Royce City beating Wiley East 28-6. That's early in the fourth quarter. West Mesquite 36, 43, Chisholm Trail 36. West Mesquite in the third quarter, a touchdown lead. Nacogdoches getting whomped by Tyler 30-6, last score we had there. Marshall beating McKinney North 38-23. If you're a Lobo fan, you're watching that one going, I feel good. Here we go on fourth down. Thomas back to pass. He's got trouble. He's in trouble. He's still going. 20-yard line, stiff arm, and he's going to be diving for a first down at the 15-yard line. Boy, put that one in your highlight package.
I think Josh was feeling himself right now. He got flushed early, sidestepped a couple possible tacklers, and then Joshua Thomas just gutted it out and would not be denied the first down.
Oh my goodness, that is an effort play for Josh Thomas. It's why people are excited about him getting a chance to be on the field, and individually made something out of nothing. First down, 15-yard line, 3:30 and counting. We'll go back to the ground, handoff Lewis. Smothered, 13-yard line, second down.
Well, and that's another young man that's moved this summer, hasn't he? Didn't he move over from Jefferson?
I think, Thomas, yeah.
So, happens every summer. Kids move around, and sometimes it's good news, sometimes it's not good news if they leave you.
Let's take a quick timeout. We'll come right back. 39-20 our score.
It's a new season. And at Sport Clips, all of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips, it's good to be a guy.
For student success.
3:15 left to play in this game. 39-20. Longview with the lead.
It's been a interesting ball game to say the least, particularly the first quarter, which was a little bit Jekyll and Hyde, to be honest.
There's a lot of that ugly Mr. Hyde for a while.
It was.
Handoff Lewis again. Nice little gap. Good sidestep by Jarrett that time. Inside the 10 down to about the 6, maybe the 7-yard line. It'll bring up a third down. And we're going to roll to the 3-minute clock. Stops again. Tyler's burning all their timeouts now. They're going to take any of them home.
Also there for the Red Raiders.
I think they got one left.
Guerrero had a good block on that one. Mongo had a good block on that one.
That was actually the final timeout for Legacy. The Red Raiders, on their run of state champions, will go against Allen next week. An Allen team that got beat last week, kind of surprising.
Yeah, first time in a while.
Yeah. And we see some folks on the far side, the home side of the field, making their way out already.
Yeah, I believe the exit has begun. You talk about Allen, if you're not familiar, they're now coached by Chad Morris, the former University of Arkansas head coach, former Clemson offensive coordinator, Auburn offensive coordinator. Chad brings a heck of a pedigree, had a lot of championships down Lake Travis. He's in charge of the Allen Eagles now, and that's who Legacy has next week.
Let's give some love to some coaches here in green and white. John Barry, the DC, again has dialed up an outstanding defensive game plan. He's got 3 defensive line coaches, Brandon Bonds, Pat House, and Trevor Murphy, who are responsible for those rotating big guys up front. Scott Hart does the linebackers, Josh Rankin the safeties, and they just played a great game plan. How about another touchdown for the Lobos? Elijah Johnson goes in from 7 yards out for the touchdown. Add a little more to it. 45-20, 3:03 left to play.
I'll tell you what, tonight was Elijah's coming out party. He really has looked good tonight. He's got some spot work at the fullback. He got so excited he ran out the field, forgot he was on the special teams on the extra point team, so he had to sprint back out there.
Touchdown scorers don't play on special teams.
Well, they do now.
Fields on for the point after. They want a line drive knuckleball. He gets up and over. 46-20 the score. 3:03 left to play in this one.
And the Big L runs across the field, all across Earl Campbell Field here at Christus Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium. We always just called it Rose back in the day, and it's one of the really cool historic places to play a ball game here in the state of Texas.
Well, the Lobos took that thing 39 yards, getting the ball on the short field after the failed fourth down conversion. And 9 plays into this, they go in and score on Elijah Johnson's 7-yard run. I want to say 15, but he's number 15, 7-yard run to make this a 46-20 ball game.
Once again, you hear the howling start after the score as the Lobos are celebrating. Many of them headed to the exit. They think this one's well over, and they're thinking about Bryant.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tyler Legacy is probably thinking about being glad to not see Longview anymore this season, because it's now going to be 17 consecutive years that the Lobos have handed a loss to the Red Raiders.
Okay, how many years has Coach King been the head coach?
King is in his 18th year.
And how many consecutive wins have?
17 in a row.
Could we think that maybe those things are correlated?
I think there's something there. 17 straight wins. And the last several, 37-14 last year, 49-7 the year before that, 63-14, 56-26, and 56-35. We're a little shy on the points end, 46, and maybe a little long on the points given up. But I don't think anybody in Longview is going to complain about it.
No, I think everybody came in here tonight. If you were a Lobo fan, you wanted to see more offense, and you have tonight. And it has been one of those that's a big victory. A little nervous about number 11, a young man, Tadarian Boone, who I think is a real playmaker on the Longview defense. He had to be helped off the field. I don't see him down there. I don't know if they went ahead and took him to the house or maybe took him over to get an x-ray. But if you're getting on the bus tonight and you're Longview, you're worried about number 11.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. All right, first down, Tyler Legacy. This is just for stats at this point in time. Bruckner back to pass, got all kinds of time, caught middle of the field, but not much. In fact, no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, the Lobos will be content to just have him stand back there and run clock off.
And you know, while we talked about the defensive side, and the defensive coaches did such a great job, the offensive side has been getting beat up for a couple of weeks now. There's a attempt at a sack. Bruckner still keeping his play alive, and this is going to be behind his receiver. Almost an outstanding catch that time by Eli Howard, but he's got 46 right in his grill the whole time. Yep, Kylan Sublett right there to knock that ball away, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, Sublett was probably fortunate there was no contact. He never looked back over his shoulder. Had there been any contact, he'd have probably gotten the flag, but since there was no contact, the ball kind of fell to the turf and nobody was upset, and we stopped the clock again.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we want to send out a congratulations to cross country. Well, they had a big week last week. Sophomores all over the place. Back to pass, Bruckner. He's going to throw one up toward the sideline. That's going to be caught out of bounds, incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down for the Red Raiders. But Coach Spears, I'm trying to find where I put my piece of paper. Everything's out of my binder right now, and so I apologize. I got to find where I put everything.
See, that's how we treat poor cross country.
No.
They get up early every morning. They run.
I got it. No, Coach Randy Spears sent me his stuff. 3 sophomores. They finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd last Saturday at the Laterno meet, the Nicole Lehman Invitational. Andrew Griffinkamp 1st, Stephen Gaskin 2nd, Nick Turner 3rd, and 5th place was junior Reagan Hull. And give a 5th place for freshman to William Hilton as well. They won the meet by 20 points.
Wow.
An impressive performance. So congratulations, those guys. 4th down, they're going deep, and that's going to be incomplete. Here comes a flag. So We'll get a little first down action for Tyler with 2:16 left to play. They'll move the ball 15 yards and get another series.
Chase Smith is the young man that may have got the penalty. He was playing safety there.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the old Texas High safety, Chase Moody.
You came up with it. We were thinking that name earlier. Tony and I have been in Texarkana for a long time. Got a chance to watch a playoff game between a Texas High Ryan Mallett-led team and a Highland Park Matt Stafford-led team. And we couldn't remember the name of the model. And I say this honestly, the safety for Texas High was a model.
Yeah.
You figured it out,
Well,
Chase Moody.
We were sitting on the front row waiting for this one to get started tonight, going through our Rose Stadium memories, and that was one that came up, the Mallett-Stafford shootout.
Yeah, you dug that one deep, though. Chase Moody, who knew? All right, first down, Tyler, 2:16 left to play. And how about another handoff? That is Miller. Miller's going to pad the stats here at the end of this game. Kind of like last year. He'll run for about 25 and a first down at the 31-yard line.
Well, my son texted me here in the second half. He's a UT grad, wanted to know about the UT commit Miller. What did we see in it? I said, kid's tough in between the tackles, runs hard.
And they're still coaching him up over on the far side, trying to get people in the right place for legacy. First down and 10. Another inside handoff, couple of yards. That's about all. I think that's Donnell on the carry. I started to go back to the Longview offensive coaches who have been much maligned for a couple of weeks. They're getting things worked out. Line's getting a little better. Quarterback situation still kind of fluid, if nothing else. But Coach Valerie, the OC, Oscar Wilson, running backs, John Ritt, receivers, Chad Hancock and Spencer Bournes, the offensive line, and they've been doing a job getting an offensive line cobbled together, and David Ashley for tight ends. All make this a work in progress. It's getting better week by week. That one's a little wide of the target. Third down coming up now for Tyler Legacy. 1:14 left in this one.
Well, this work in progress has a tough task next weekend, as on Friday they have a visit from Bryan, Arkansas. You mentioned the Hornets, 3 straight state championships, but I don't know if you mentioned, pretty similar size student population.
About 2,100 kids at Bryan High School.
So it's not an unsurmountable task. This is 2 schools about the same size that play really good football.
And their coach is a coach named Buck James. That's a coach name. Pass by Bruckner, broken up last second, as that was intended for 11. That's Aaron Sears, who's in there playing some receiver as well as corner. Let's see for the Lobos. What did we get in there? Is that 25, I think it is? Contravian McFarland. 49. Oh, my bad. I was way off.
Yeah, I was going to say Braggs was back there as well, number 5.
Zachary Moon. Zachary Moon was the guy back there breaking that ball up. So here we go on 4th and 9. 1:09 left to play. And back to pass Bruckner. He's got some pressure. Stepping up. Got more pressure. Down he goes back at the 31-yard line. Sack combined.
There's your 25.
There's your 25, indeed. McFarland teams up with Jeremiah Bragg for the sack, and that'll give the ball back to the Lobos with 1:02 left, and they're about to go to 2-1 on the year.
Yeah, and this is every coach's favorite formation right here. Send somebody out there and take a knee. Is that going to be, looks like Isaiah Harris, is he coming in for the snap? No,
we're going to get
Joshua back in there, or who's quarterback?
There he comes.
There he comes.
You forget.
Yeah, coach likes to hold on to him as long as he can over there on the sideline.
Yeah, he's giving instructions. It may be victory formation or not. He's still getting instructions. First down, Lobos, 29-yard line. We're going to have at least a handoff to Taylor. And he gets nothing. Second down coming up. Now you would think it's just kneel down time.
Kneel down, let it run out as both stands have emptied out quite a bit as people want to get a head start on what is just a 2-day weekend this weekend.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing.
Well, if you are a fan of college football and folks from East Texas, particularly Longview, have very fond memories of the Texas-Arkansas matchup. So there'll be a few eyes of East Texas on Fayetteville, Arkansas tomorrow night.
Yes, there will be. Second down. How about another handoff? And Lewis going to spin out of a tackle. Uh-oh, here comes Jarrett Lewis. 40-yard line, 30-yard line. He's trying to outrace the last Tyler defender. He gets pushed out of bounds just shy of the goal, and they'll say out of bounds at the 4-yard line. Jarrett Lewis add insult to injury as he goes for almost a 70-yard touchdown. He goes 65 yards, and Coach King, I think
just running simple plays.
Yeah.
You really can't get too upset. We thought he'd take a knee, but he's running very simple plays here. And
now they will. Now they'll take the knee, and they'll wrap it up for the last snap of this ball game. There it is. An almost extra touchdown. Coach King was going to not be happy if his guy had gone down to score. Not that he didn't want him to score, but that wasn't the intent.
It's hard to tell him as he's running down the field, step out.
Yeah, don't score. No, don't. Well, 46-20 is the final score. The Lobos continue their dominance of Tyler legacy. 17 times in a row these guys have met, and every single time the green and white has walked away with a victory, and this one's pretty sweet.
Well, nice victory tonight. A place that the Lobos are very familiar playing at. They've been coming to Rose every other year for many, many years, and so sometimes they're down here twice a year if they get what used to be John Tyler, now Tyler High. So certainly familiar surroundings for another Lobo victory.
Well, they will see Tyler High, but that'll be the last game of the season, and right now their dominance of Tyler continued with the win tonight, and you can see Coach King down there saying hello to Coach Willis and the others. And are we going to get a camera down there with Coach King? We got to later. Okay.
Later. We'll be on our way to the house when that happens, I think. But,
Frank will still be here.
Yeah, by the way, Coach King's son had a nice debut a week ago as he got his first start for the Fighting Aggies of Texas A&M. Had an up and down day, but Coach King got to go down there and watch Haynes King compete in the maroon and white.
There you go. All right, we are done here for this evening. That's Tony Kirk. I'm Chuck Zach. You've been tuning in here to Longview Game Day. Final score 46-20. Longview with the win. We remind you we will be back on the air next week. We'll have the full gang there for the home game against the Bryan Hornets from Arkansas, 7:30 kickoff. If you can't be there, be with us because we're going to bring you all the action right here on Longview Game Day. So long, everybody.